Chapter 2078. Wuxia and the others had never seen Star Venerables fight. Star Venerables were rarely seen, and they rarely fought. The thief school was powerful, but they didn't have any Star Venerables. The strongest was just a Star Lord. They had a large number of Star Lords, which meant they weren't weak. But now they were all controlled, which was a very embarrassing thing. Now the usually powerful Star Lords were easily controlled, which showed them how powerful Star Venerables were. As expected, everyone below Star Venerables were just like ants. This strong force was not something an ordinary Star Venerate could resist. Even a late-stage Star Venerate could easily suppress it. Your Excellency, please let me go. I didn't do anything bad with your reputation, and I want to offer the treasure to you after this is over. Star-Lord Jianu's expression changed quickly. He immediately put on a flattering expression, not as fierce as before. Facing someone stronger than him, he was really flexible. He didn't care even if a group of disciples of the thief school were watching him. For him, it was fine as long as he could live. He didn't care about his reputation. Etianyan didn't care about him. He grabbed Star-Lord Jianu's head and started a super soul searching. It was useless to say anything. He just wanted to see who was behind Star-Lord Jianu. Begging for mercy and changing the subject were meaningless. After the soul searching, Star-Lord Jianu's power was sealed, and most of his power was destroyed. Then he was thrown in the middle of the hall like a dead dog. I'll leave him to you. Now go and save your schoolmaster. Etianyan's face was gloomy. He started walking forward. Impossible, impossible. What kind of power is this? You can search my memory? Star-Lord Jianu shouted at Etianyan, as if he had seen a ghost. He hadn't expected Etianyan to search his soul like this. Etianyan didn't answer him. He just kept walking forward. Wuxia grabbed Star-Lord Jianu and followed him. The thief door's crisis had not been resolved yet. After all, there were still many guards outside and soon more guards would come. Therefore she decided to go in with Etianyan and save her sect master first. Yu Luo and the rest followed closely behind, in case they were left behind. The rest of the thief god sect's disciples also followed him. How could they miss the chance to save their sect master? They had been unwilling to leave and had been working for Star-Lord Virtuous Fury all this time. All for the sake of saving the master and the thief door. When they went deeper into the main hall, there were layers of guards. However, Etianyan raised his hand and slapped, sending the guards flying. Actually, he didn't even need to do anything. He could just let Wuxia do it. These guards were at most at the level of Master Xing, so Wuxia could easily deal with them. It was just that Etianyan happened to be in front of them, so it was up to him to take care of them. After sweeping all the way in, they soon came to the depths of the thief god sect. Below us is the place where the sect master is imprisoned. Usually we use it to seal treasures, but now it's being used as a cage. How ironic. Wuxia shook her head. They had never imagined that the place where treasures were stored would be used as a cage. Etianyan didn't say anything. He continued walking and came to a door. This door, let me open it. When Wuxia was about to open the door, Etianyan reached out and slapped it a few times. Under their dumbfounded expression, the door began to rumble and actually opened. How do you know how to open it? Wuxia was dumbfounded. He is a devil. He dug out my memory. How could he not know how to open it? He knows the secret of the thief god sect. Star-Lord Virtuous Fury shouted from the side. An outsider knows the secret of the thief god sect, ha ha ha. Star-Lord Virtuous Fury went crazy and began to laugh crazily. Not only was he controlled, but his plan also failed. Moreover, all his secrets were dug out, which drove him crazy. Wuxia and the others looked at each other. This was really a very evil ability. However, they didn't say anything. So what if Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable knew their secret? Anyway, it was enough to save the entire thief god sect. As the doors opened, two green-skinned Star Venerates entered Xiaochen's sight. They were digging into the memories of the sect master and the elders of the thief god sect, trying to dig out all the memories of the sect master. Etianyan rushed in without saying a word. The reason was very simple. The master of the thief god sect was controlled by two green demons. Moreover, They were constantly implanting the flower of darkness into the Master and Elders. Therefore, after digging out Star Lord Vengeful Fury's memories, he immediately rushed over here in order to rescue them and destroy the Green Demon race. "It's you Green Demons again." Yi Tianyan was furious when he saw the Green Demons. No wonder the Thief God sect did so many things. They were behind everything. When the two Green Demon Star Sovereigns saw Yi Tianyan and the others come in, they were stunned. Before they could react, they were quickly controlled by Yi Tianyan. One of them was killed, and the other's soul was searched. Similarly, not a single memory was spared. "Master!" Yu Qiuma and the others rushed over. The Master and the Elders were all exhausted. They were tightly bound there, and their bodies were covered with the flower of darkness. It was a horrible sight to see. Many of the flower of darkness grew on their bodies, using their bodies as soil to absorb their energy. Under such torture, their willpower would collapse bit by bit. It wasn't something that could be resisted with a strong willpower. As time passed, their rationality would gradually collapse. In the end, not only would their memories be dug out, but they would also be controlled. This was the terror of the flower of darkness. It was equivalent to a forbidden flower. "You're here?" Sect Master Qin Mu's face was pale. When he saw them charging over, he felt both surprised and worried. However, when he saw the two star sovereigns being controlled, half of the stone in his heart was lifted. The other half was because he was worried about Yi Tianyan's identity. They didn't know Yi Tianyan's identity, so they couldn't help but worry. "Sect Master, how are you? There are so many flower of darkness. These damned Green Demons." They turned their furious gazes to the Green Demons. The remaining Green Demon Star Sovereign had long lost his ability to resist. He could only stare at them with wide eyes. "I'll leave them to you. I'll do as I please," Yi Tianyan said with a nod. Chapter 2079. After Yi Tianyan watched them vent their anger, he finally faced the real problem that he had to face. They turned their gazes back to Yi Tianyan and pleaded, "My lord, can you save the sect master? You are so powerful and have such a strong cultivation. You should be able to get rid of the dark flower, right?" "Ha ha ha, that's impossible. You can't deal with the flower of darkness. Only we can." The Green Devil Star Monarch started laughing maniacally. He believed that they were dreaming if they wanted to get rid of the flower of darkness. They were indeed confident in their abilities. After all, the dark flower was famous for its ability to get rid of things. This was especially so after the dark flower had fully grown. Getting rid of it was practically impossible. Yi Tianyan was still looking through the memories he had obtained. After looking through them, he did not answer Yu Qiuma. Instead, he looked at the Green Demon Star Venerate and said, "So that's how it is. You destroyed the transportation formation to make those cultivators stay behind, so that you can capture and control them one by one." Unexpectedly, aside from that lair, there is another huge place that captured so many cultivators. Yi Tianyan finally understood what was going on. The memories he had obtained from Star Venerate did not explain what the transportation formation was used for. However, from the Green Demon Star Venerate's memories, Xiaoqin knew what was going on. Given the cultivation of the Green Demon race, capturing some of the weaker Star Venerates would not be a problem. After destroying the transportation formation, the cultivators would not be able to return. At the same time, they would not be able to quickly report the disappearance of their companions. Under such circumstances, the Green Demon race could do whatever they wanted for now. In the end, their reason was rather crude. They just wanted to capture more cultivators and control them. The act of stealing the astral rings was entirely at the request of Star Venerate. Star Venerate was rather greedy, so he wanted to snatch all the treasures. He had a cooperative relationship with the Green Demon race. As long as Star Venerate agreed, not only would he become the sect master, but he would also have the Green Demon race as his backer in the future. "Who exactly are you? How can you have such an ability?" The Green Demon Star Venerate's face turned sullen. Having his memories wiped clean was still very horrifying. "Looks like you've been so busy outside that you've forgotten about the situation in your own nest." Yi Tianyan shook his head and said, "Your base in the Five Elements Mountain has been destroyed by me. But you're still busy outside, looking for more powerhouses to support you. It's ridiculous. Your lair is gone, so what are you all doing outside? Impossible. It is impossible for you to destroy our lair. Our Lord is undefeatable. How can you deal with him? The Green Devil Star Monarch shook his head, denying Etienne's words. It's up to you whether you believe me or not. Etienne didn't bother with him anymore, and turned his head to look at Sect Master Qin Mu of Thief God Sect. He said solemnly, Sect Master Qin Mu, I have discussed with your people before. If I come to save you, the reward is for your Thief God Sect to join my power. I wonder, what do you think? You want us to join your force? Qin Mu examined Etienne up and down and said solemnly, I wonder what power does this Dao friend belong to? Our Thief God Sect isn't weak. If there hadn't been an accident, we wouldn't have been controlled. There were 4-star monarchs captured here. Including Wuxia, there were 5-star monarchs. This power was much stronger than the Jade God's ancestral land in the burning desolate region. Of course, the Jade God's ancestral land had star venerables. Putting aside star venerables, it was quite a strong power. It was only because they were plotted against by others that they ended up in such a state. I'm Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable, Etienne said calmly. Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable? When he announced his name, they were immediately shocked. They knew that Etienne was strong, but they didn't expect him to be Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable, who had been in the limelight recently. Yes, I'm Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable. If you traitors hadn't given me the order, I wouldn't have known the situation of Thief God Sect. Etienne glanced at Savage Fury Star Venerable and said with a faint smile, You used my name to say that I'm your backer. It's really ridiculous. Bastard, you attracted a big guy. It turns out it was you, trash. The Green Demon Star Venerable was furious when he heard that. He didn't believe that Etienne would destroy his lair, but he believed that he had been attracted by Savage Fury Star Venerable. Savage Fury Star Venerable's face turned green and white. What else could he say? He just thought that Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable was famous and wanted to scare his fellow disciples. Who would have thought that it would lead to such a situation? He didn't think that Etienne would come here. They were so far away from each other. Moreover, he had said it internally and hadn't publicized it. Although he hadn't publicized it, the order he had given was quite deceptive. That was different. If it weren't for stealing, Etienne wouldn't have cared about it. Maybe this was the cause and effect that had lured him here. Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable. Qin Mu was silent for a while before saying, Forget it. As long as Lord Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable can give us some space after taking control of Thief God Sect, we will be eternally grateful. Qin Mu agreed in the end, and didn't refuse to join Etienne's power. Little you, I'll leave Thief God Sect to you. We are controlled by the flowers of darkness, and it will be hard for us to break free. Qin Mu sighed. I hope you can manage Thief God Sect well, and don't disappoint us down there. Sect Master. Wuxia and the rest cried out in grief. They turned to look at Etienne and asked, Lord, is there really no way to get rid of these flowers of darkness? Haha, if we could, we would have done so long ago. Why would we be talking nonsense with you? At the side, the Green Demon Star Sovereign laughed loudly. Although their plan had been seen through, they would still be able to bury a group of people with them. This was a joyous occasion. Many of the disciples collapsed to the ground, their eyes red. From this, it could be seen that their relationship was very deep. Thief God Sect's management in this aspect was very good. Who said I can't get rid of these flowers of darkness? Etienne said indifferently. Soon after, he stretched out his hand to grab the flowers of darkness. Qin Mu's face turned pale. It was obvious that he felt a sharp pain. Idiot, this is no different from killing people. I thought you had a way, but it turns out you were just bragging. Green Demon Star Venerable laughed loudly. As soon as he said that, the flowers of darkness that were pulled out were quickly burned to ashes. Even the flowers of darkness in Qin Mu's body were easily disposed of by Etienne. Chapter 2080. When Etienne had forcefully pulled out the flowers of darkness, he had given Wuxia and the rest a huge shock. After all, The flowers of darkness could not be dealt with like that. If they could, why would they need to ask Yi Tianyan for help? They could have just done it themselves. When they wanted to dissuade Yi Tianyan has already burned the dark flower in front of them. Everything was done very quickly, much faster than when he had dealt with the flowers of darkness. This was not just practice making perfect. The crucial point was that his cultivation had increased greatly, so the speed at which he dealt with the flowers of darkness had naturally increased as well. The flower of darkness was annihilated in an instant. It was as easy as flipping his hand. This dumbfounded Green Devil Star Sovereign. The words he had said earlier seemed to be mocking him. It was so sarcastic. Before, he had been very sure that Yi Tianyan could not remove them, but now he had been slapped in the face. It was laughable. Yi Tianyan was too lazy to care about their expressions, and continued to remove the flowers of darkness from their bodies. The removal methods were all very cruel. He just had to pull them out and burn them quickly. There was no difficulty at all. Soon he had pulled out all the flowers of darkness and restored their bodies. None of them came back to their senses even after a long time. Previously, they had been so sad that they could not control themselves. Now they were all dumbfounded, and what followed was pleasant surprise. Removed? You really removed the flowers of darkness? Lord, you are too awesome. Yu Qiuma screamed in surprise. She no longer had the bearing of a star sovereign, and she looked completely like a little girl. Yu Qiuma still hadn't changed back to her original appearance. She was still in disguise. She had always presented herself like that, not intending to show her true appearance. Other than a few people who knew her true appearance, most of them did not. Our flowers of darkness have been removed. Does that mean we don't have to die anymore? Qin Mu and the rest were also pleasantly surprised. They had written their wills, and since there was no solution, they could only hand Thief God Sect over to Yi Tianyan. Now that all of them were fine, should he continue with this promise? I didn't say I want you guys to die. Join my power, not one less. Yi Tianyan looked at Qin Mu and smiled. Sect Master Qin, you won't go back on your words, right? Previously, you thought that you were dead for sure, which was why you chose to side with me. What about now? Do you still have any ideas? Qin Mu and the rest smiled awkwardly. If it wasn't for the crisis, they really didn't want to join Yi Tianyan's power. Although Yi Tianyan's side was very strong, they were still used to freedom, and they didn't want the stealing door to be controlled. This, Sect Master Qin, after this matter is over, we can discuss this further. I don't want to force you. Otherwise, you won't be willing to work for me. Yi Tianyan smiled. In that case, after we get rid of these traitors, we can discuss this further. Qin Mu looked at Star Sovereign with an incomparably cold gaze, and even killing intent surged. Wasn't it because of them that they were trapped here? After the flower of darkness was removed, they didn't recover, but it wasn't a problem to clean up the sect together. The strongest guards here were only at the level of Master Xing. The level of Star Sovereign was already here, so it wasn't difficult to deal with them. No matter what, they were all Star Sovereigns, and even injured ones were much stronger than Master Xing. Very soon, with their violence, they cleaned up the intruders of the stealing door. And at the same time, Star Sovereign was put on trial. Yi Tianyan watched from the side, witnessing the whole process. The whole process was very straightforward, and the traitors were all severely punished. They wouldn't be killed, but they would be imprisoned and punished. Directly killing them with a single slash would be letting them off too easily. Hence, the way they dealt with it was rather extreme. When it was time to be ruthless, they wouldn't be soft-hearted. Especially when dealing with traitors, Yi Tianyan wouldn't be soft-hearted at all. He wouldn't remember old friendships, and he wouldn't say anything about the return of the prodigal son. I'm very sorry, what prodigal son? Let's talk about it in our next life. After dealing with the matter, Yi Tianyan rested in the stealing door for a while, where they gave him the highest treatment. After a period of rest, Sect Master Qin and the others came to visit personally, instead of letting Yi Tianyan meet them. Greetings, Sir Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable. The Master and all the elders of the Godly Thief sect all came over. Among this group of people, there was an extra woman. Although she wasn't extremely beautiful, her appearance was very pleasing to the eye. She was none other than Yichiomo. This was her true appearance, but Yi Tianyan just glanced at her and didn't look at her at all. Yichiomo was so angry that she stomped her feet. She thought that when she changed to her true appearance, Yi Tianyan would look at her a few more times, but it didn't work at all. It's rare for me to recover my appearance. Yet he doesn't even look at me properly. Yichiomo was still very confident in her appearance. It wasn't that she was absolutely beautiful, but she had a special charm that made it easy for people to look at her a few more times. Little did she know that Yi Tianyan had seen it many times, and his willpower was astonishing, so he wouldn't be moved at all. And looks like you guys have already discussed it, right? Yi Tianyan looked at them with a smile. They could give him a satisfactory answer. We have discussed it, and we have decided to join Lord's power. We have already made a promise, so we naturally won't change it. We have come over this time to sign some rules with Lord, and we hope Lord can agree to it. Qin Mu took out a piece of paper, and was about to pass it to Yi Tianyan. Yi Tianyan gently waved his hand and signaled, "There's no need in that case, we will follow your rules. Whatever you guys say, I won't interfere." "Lord, you won't even look at it?" Qin Mu was astonished. Wasn't Yi Tianyan afraid of being scammed by him? What's there to look at? As long as you guys are willing to join, there won't be any problems. Besides, what other requests can you guys have? Could it be that you guys dare to scam me? Yi Tianyan said with a smile. Even though you guys are from Thief God sect and are called thieves by the outside world, you guys are also thieves with morality. You won't do anything reckless, so I naturally believe you guys. They looked at each other and saw admiration in each other's eyes. Soon after, they half knelt down and said in a clear voice, "We are willing to serve by Lord's side and are willing to be Lord's hidden hands." "Very good." Yi Tianyan stood up and said with a smile, "I will let you guys know that joining me is definitely not a mistake. There will only be light." Chapter 2081. Yi Tianyan felt very satisfied that he could easily incorporate the godly thief sect into his faction. Xiaoqin intended to keep this secret to himself, and not let the people of his faction know. This was tantamount to having a hidden trump card that no one else knew about. If necessary, Xiaoqin could even get them to help him find traitors. This was tantamount to a hidden department. This was something that Xiaoqin had always wanted to do. He wanted an independent department, similar to an information department and a law enforcement department. Xiaoqin could not keep an eye on his faction all the time. Hence, he needed an independent law enforcement department to help him investigate and get rid of traitors. At the same time, no one from his faction could join this department. That way, there would always be someone involved. After dealing with everything, all that remained was to deal with the green demon race. In an area not far from here, there was a green demon race force. As he rushed over, he saw many cultivators trapped in this place, and at the same time, they were all covered in flowers of darkness. These flowers of darkness could successfully control them, and turn them into puppets of the green devil race. They destroyed the transportation formation. That way they would have extra time to do this. If the transportation formation was destroyed and they could not return, it would be tantamount to an accident. Even if they returned after a long time, it would not raise any suspicions. Otherwise, if they were captured for some time, the faction there would definitely become suspicious. After all, something must have happened if they did not return for a long time. After a series of interrogations, they would definitely be suspected or investigated. The best method was to destroy the transportation formation. That way, they would have enough time to come over. They would not be suspected even if they returned. After all, it was all a problem with the transportation formation. Many of the captured cultivators are cultivators of Scarlet Moon Star. The green demon race is really bold. They even dare to mess around with Scarlet Moon Star? Yi Tianyan looked at the group of cultivators who were caught. Many of them were star masters, but there were very few star monarchs. The green demon race also had relatively few star venerates. Naturally, it was impossible to capture many star venerates. From this, it was clear that they wanted to expand the green demon race's faction to Scarlet Moon Star. Dark flowers covered the bodies of the group of cultivators. All of them showed pained expressions as they glared at the green demon race with angry gazes. You bastards! Kill me if you can. You will die a horrible death. Someone will eventually find you and take revenge for us. Your race is indeed the most disgusting. I hope you will never reincarnate. They all used the most vicious curses to curse the green devil race. Never reincarnate? What a joke. Don't worry, you'll go down earlier than us. We'll make good use of your bodies and create even more trouble. The green demons laughed sinisterly, looking very disgusting. Xiao Chun, the green demon Chun said, Xiao Chun. And Xiao Chun said. His companions quickly strengthened the effects of the darkness flower. And the effects immediately increased. The black tendrils that had pierced into their bodies began to strengthen, and the pain caused their faces to turn pale. Xiao said. Chun Xiao Chun. Xiao Tian Chun. Xiao he said. Venerate I Chun Tian Long he said. Xiao death. Tian Xiao Chun. There were still people who endured the pain and screamed miserably. They would rather die than submit. You can still talk. Continue to strengthen the effect. The green demon race indicated that he wanted to strengthen the effect again. Right at this moment, a figure floated over gently. With a single slap, this group of green devil race beings was slapped to death. A bunch of trash, truly disgusting. Tianyan shook his head, feeling disgusted at the sight of the green demon race. When they saw Tianyan, they were overjoyed. One of them even shouted, "We're saved! Just say that someone will avenge us." As they screamed, they coughed up blood. The pain in their bodies seemed to diminish along with this pleasant surprise. Tianyan glanced at them and continued to kill the green devil race. Naturally, the group of green devils could not resist Tianyan's ferocious attacks. He swept through them and easily killed them, including the green devil star sovereigns. Even until their deaths, they did not expect that someone would really come to rescue them. They remembered that they were in a relatively hidden place, and it was difficult for anyone to find them. Little did they know that Tianyan knew where they were hiding from the Green Devil Star Sovereign's memories. Naturally, he could find them easily. After getting rid of them, Tianyan let out a sigh of relief. Finally, these flies are gone. How disgusting. Then he turned his gaze to the captured cultivators. Their eyes were filled with joy. "Sir, thank you so much. This way we can die in peace. Sir, please free us." They all revealed carefree smiles. Even if they were to die, they would accept it. At least, they could see the Green Devil race being killed before they died. As long as they were not controlled, it was a blessing for them. Free? Tianyan shook his head and looked at them with a smile. "There's no need to despair. I can help you solve it." Then, Tianyan cleared the flowers of darkness on their bodies. It was as if he was pulling out weeds. It was not difficult at all. Seeing the flowers of darkness on their bodies being removed, they felt that it was unbelievable. They did not expect that the flowers of darkness, which were so vicious in the outside world, would be removed so easily. None of them had recovered from their shock. They were all dumbfounded by this scene. Like the godly thief sect, they were all dumbfounded by this situation. They had thought of many ways to free themselves, but they had never thought that Tianyan would be able to save them. Tianyan is used to their expressions, so he's not surprised at all. We are saved. They looked at their bodies and twisted their bodies. They found that they were so flexible and could control their bodies. They could not believe it. After a while, they believed that they were saved. "Sir, thank you for saving us." They knelt down and shed tears of gratitude. Tianyan nodded. He had originally come to destroy the Green Devil race. Saving them was just a side job. Ding. Successfully saved a group of cultivators. You have received 300 good deeds. Saving them would naturally earn him good deed points, just like killing the green demon race would earn him kill points. Chapter 2082. After this group of cultivators was rescued, they were all very grateful to Tianyan. They even gave Tianyan their rewards. However, Tianyan did not accept them. After all, it was just a matter of convenience. Furthermore, their cultivations were low, so the rewards they gave were just average. Hence, it did not matter. Hence, Itianyan did not accept their rewards. This made them even more grateful. He saved them without asking for any rewards. However, they all patted their chests and said that when Itianyan came to Scarlet Moon Planet, he would contact them if he needed their help. Among them, a star venerate promised Itianyan that if he came to find him, they would definitely help him. Itianyan naturally accepted their kindness. Although he was going to Scarlet Moon Planet to simply look for Celestial Ring's great star venerates, he might really need their help if he went to Scarlet Moon Planet in the future. After all, they had been there for a long time, so they would definitely be more familiar with the place than Xiaochen. This was especially so for star venerates. Xiaochen still needed such favors. Xiaochen looked at the many medallions in his hands. These were all favors and lifesavers. As long as Xiaochen did not send them to their deaths, they would immediately rush over to help. It's really bad for my cultivation if my obsession is not clear. Itianyan thought of the group of people begging him to repay them, and he found it funny. This life-saving favor would always be stuck in their minds. If not for Itianyan, they would have died long ago, especially when they were controlled as puppets. That would be the most pitiful existence. Hence, Itianyan saving them was equivalent to solving many problems. This favor was very heavy. Even if they were not parents, they were existences that surpassed parents. Under such circumstances, they had to repay him. Otherwise, they would not feel at ease. This kind of cultivator was not rare. In fact, it was very common. If they did not repay him, it would be bad for their cultivation. Itianyan was put aside for now. He would think about it later. After returning to the 6th origin domain, they continued to repair the teleportation formation. The rate of repair had increased significantly, but it would still take some time before the teleportation formation could be completely repaired. My lord, there is still some time before the teleportation formation can be completely repaired. Why don't I arrange an elegant courtyard for you to rest first? At this time, a figure floated beside Itianyan and transmitted his voice to him. He was one of the thief god's disciples. When he saw Itianyan, he immediately came to greet him. There's no need. It's too slow. Who knows how long it'll take for them to repair it? Itianyan lifted his foot and walked towards the teleportation array. Just as he approached, the guard immediately glared at him and said, "What do you want?" A lot of people had been added to the teleportation formation, and it was tightly surrounded. Actually, this was meaningless. It wasn't like there weren't any guards before. Didn't they still get tricked? In particular, the cultivation of these guards was ordinary. Although they were Star Grandmaster, they could easily break through the Star Monarch of the Thief God sect. I don't want to do anything. I just feel that you are repairing the teleportation formation too slowly. So, I want to come and help you repair it. Itianyan said straightforwardly. He did not want to wait for so long. If not for the matter with the Thief God sect, he really would have helped to repair the teleportation formation. Just you. At this time, a young man came out of the teleportation formation. He was dressed in white and holding a star rune pen. He must be one of the cultivators here. What's with your tone? How dare you talk to us? The thief god's disciple next to Itianyan was angry. When he wanted to say a few words, he was stopped by Itianyan, who signaled him not to speak. Leave this place to me. You guys do what you need to do. When I need you, come and help me. Itianyan understood their good intentions. However, he did not need to do this now. It would make him more conspicuous. Understood. The thief god's disciple nodded. He glared at him and left. Oh, you have a helper. You are really arrogant. Come, and help us repair the teleportation formation. Renjian looked at Itianyan disdainfully and said, We are the best star rune masters in the entire Desolate Dragon Star. We are all from the Star Pavilion. I don't know where you are from, but you dare to come and help us? The Star Pavilion was famous in the Desolate Dragon Star. They had many star rune masters. Among them, there were many high-level star rune masters. It was a famous existence in the Desolate Dragon Star. What Ren Jian said wasn't an exaggeration. If the Heavenly Star Pavilion's attainments in the field of star inscriptions weren't strong, then no one could compare to them. Perhaps only the Scarlet Moon planet could surpass the Heavenly Star Pavilion. Tianyun smiled faintly and said, the Star Pavilion's level is not bad in the Desolate Dragon Star. However, there is always someone better than you. They are much stronger than the Star Pavilion. As for me, I come from an ordinary force. I just want to go to the Red Moon Star as soon as possible. Your teleportation formation is too slow. That's why I came to help. Otherwise, I would be too lazy to come and help. Very good. You are the first person who dares to say such words in front of the Star Pavilion. Renjian's eyes turned cold. His anger rose. Very well. Come and show us what it means to have someone better than you. As a disciple of the Star Pavilion, he was also a third-grade Star Rune Master. He was one of the best among the younger generation. How could he tolerate someone questioning the Star Pavilion? In his opinion, the Star Pavilion was the absolute king here. Naturally, he would not accept any questioning. Renjian, what's wrong? At this time, an old man walked over. It was noisy here, which attracted his attention. Master, he thinks that the Star Pavilion's level is not good enough. He thinks that we are too slow in repairing the teleportation formation. Renjian turned his head respectfully and said to his master, therefore I want him to come up and give it a try. I want to see if he is really better than us and not just talking big. Nonsense. Ku Rong's face turned cold. He shouted, the teleportation formation cannot be careless. How can you try it randomly? If you repair it carelessly, the entire teleportation formation will be scrapped. Master is right. Renjian panicked. He had almost forgotten about this matter. He was completely enraged by Tianyun. Go wherever you want to go. Don't come and bother us again. Our repair speed is not something you can question. Ku Rong swung his hand and said coldly, our Star Pavilion might not be the best in this world, but at least we are better than you. Chapter 2083. Tianyun had heard that the Starry Sky Pavilion was very arrogant, and thought that no one on planet Desolate Dragon could surpass them in star patterns. Now it seemed that it was true. They were too arrogant and would not accept any rebuttal. Whether they accepted the rebuttal or not did not have much to do with him. But whether he could go to planet Red Moon in advance was a very serious matter. He did not want to wait here for a few more years. According to the current speed, it would take at least a few years. For cultivators, a few years was indeed a blink of an eye. Just a little meditation, and a few years would pass. But Tianyun did not want to wait that long. He could go there quickly, so why wait for a few more years? This was undoubtedly a waste for him. You can say that you don't want outsiders to interfere with the teleportation formation, to prevent it from being damaged. But now you say that the Starry Sky Pavilion is invincible. Do you think that no one on planet Desolate Dragon can surpass you? Tianyun shook his head. So what? At least the 6th origin region has come to us for the repair of the teleportation formation. Renjian waved his hand and said impatiently, don't be so long-winded here. If you have the ability, go find the 6th origin Star Lord of the 6th origin region, and ask him to hand the repair work to you. Otherwise, go wherever you want to go. This is not going well at all. Renjian waved his hand and signaled for Tianyun to leave quickly and not cause trouble here. If it were not for so many people watching, they would have attacked long ago. 6th origin Star Lord? Tianyun was deep in thought. Faced with this situation, he could force it, but there was no need. While he was thinking about whether he should go find the 6th origin Star Lord, a noisy voice came from ahead. Lord 6th origin Star Lord is here. Accompanied by a cheer, the 6th origin Star Lord walked out of the crowd with a serious expression. As soon as he arrived, Renjian and the others immediately stopped what they were doing and ran over. They said respectfully, Lord 6th origin Star Lord, are you here to check on the progress of the teleportation formation? Yes, the repair work of the teleportation formation must continue to speed up. The situation is not good now. The 6th origin Star Lords did not look too good. The teleportation array was their lifeline. It was related to the prosperity of the 6th origin region. They definitely did not want anything to go wrong. That's for sure. We're already working as fast as we can. It won't be long before it's completely repaired. Ku Rong nodded and bowed. He was still very respectful to the Six Origins Star-Lord, not daring to show any arrogance. Yes, the faster the better. There are too many cultivators gathered here. If this continues, it will definitely incur the displeasure of many cultivators. Six Origins Star-Lord nodded. Lord Six Origins Star-Lord will definitely do well. Before Ku Rong could finish speaking, Six Origins Star-Lord's eyes narrowed as if he had seen something frightening. He hurriedly walked past Ku Rong and appeared in front of Yi Tianyan. This action immediately attracted everyone's attention. Why did Six Origins Celestial Lord suddenly appear in front of Yi Tianyan? It's that guy. Ku Rong was irritated. He thought Yi Tianyan must have done something to attract Six Origins Star-Lord's attention. I'll teach this guy a lesson. Let's see if he dares to cause trouble here again. When he was about to go over, Six Origins Star-Lord bowed deeply and said, "Greetings, Lord Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable." The extent of his bow was even greater than Ku Rong's previous bow. He was extremely respectful, which shocked the surrounding cultivators. What did he mean? Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable. Ku Rong, who had walked over, felt his legs go weak. He collapsed on the ground. Even Ren Jian was scared out of his wits. The person he had driven away turned out to be a Star Venerable. Star Venerables were the overlords here. Who dared to provoke them? But they had provoked them. And they had not driven him away just once or twice. They had almost attacked him. Oh, you've seen me? Seeing Six Origins Star-Lord so respectful, Yi Tianyan found it strange. He was sure he had never seen Six Origins Star-Lord before. Yes, but I saw him on the record roulette. Lord Heavenly Cloud's heroic fight is still vivid in my mind. Six Origins Star-Lord flattered Ren Jian. Oh, it turns out you saw him on the record roulette. No wonder. Yi Tianyan said calmly, but this teleportation formation hasn't been repaired yet. It's taking a long time to repair it. Your Excellency, it's already repaired very quickly. I asked the Starry Sky Pavilion to help repair it. I still need some time before I can clear it. Please forgive me. Six Origins Star-Lord nodded and bowed. The other cultivators had never seen such an expression. Maybe it was only when he saw a strong person that he could have such an attitude. When the other cultivators saw Yi Tianyan, they also muttered to themselves. Wasn't Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable driven away by the Starry Sky Pavilion? That's true. Just now, Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable said he wanted to help repair the teleportation formation. But it seems he was driven away by the Starry Sky Pavilion. After a few words, how could Six Origins Star-Lord not hear what was being said around him? His eyes suddenly turned cold as he turned to look at Ku Rong and the others, whose legs had turned to jelly. You drove Heavenly Cloud Star Venerable away? Six Origins Star-Lord's eyes were filled with anger. He had seen how powerful Yi Tianyan was, so he did not dare provoke him. He did not expect to be offended by the Starry Sky Pavilion. Did this not spoil his plans? Ah, a great man does not hold grudges against a lowly man. We were blind. Please forgive us, Your Excellency. Ku Rong and the others came to Yi Tianyan and knelt on the ground. They no longer had the imposing manner they had before. Instead, they looked like stray dogs. That's right, Your Excellency. We just didn't want outsiders to touch the teleportation formation to avoid delaying the progress. They were all crying and complaining, as if they were really seriously repairing the teleportation array. Oh, why is it different from what I heard just now? Yi Tianyan's expression was indifferent. It was impossible to tell whether he was happy or angry. I heard it just now. Did you think that I was overestimating myself and was not qualified to repair the teleportation formation? Is that true? Six Origins Star-Lord's heart turned cold. He had heard that Yi Tianyan was extremely ferocious. If he got angry, he could flatten an entire force. He had a share in the Starry Sky Pavilion. If the Starry Sky Pavilion was flattened, it would be a great loss. Ku Rong and the others were on the verge of tears. They had indeed said it. How could they dare to deny it? Bastard! Six Origins Star-Lord was furious. He reached out and slapped them, sending them flying. They did not die, but their faces were slapped high in the air. Your Excellency, I'm very sorry. This is my responsibility. I hope you can forgive them. 6 Origin Star Lord's move was equivalent to saving them. After all, he had already punished them. There was no need for Yi Tianyan to do anything. Chapter 2084. Yi Tianyan would not argue with them. They were just a bunch of snobs. Even if they wanted to argue with them, 6 Origin Celestial Lord had taught them a lesson, so he would not intervene. His action of protecting his subordinates made him feel that 6 Origin Celestial Lord was quite protective. After all, Ren Jian and Ku Rong were both grade 3 star tattoo masters, which was quite good. If they were killed, it would be a great loss. In this case, it would be better for him to punish them directly, which could save their lives. Your Excellency, you are broad-minded. I apologize. 6 Origin Celestial Lord apologized repeatedly. He had gone to a lot of trouble for his subordinates. However, the Heavenly Star Pavilion was utterly humiliated. They had unexpectedly driven away a Star Venerable. Their foresight was really bad. This would definitely become a joke, and then it would be widely spread among many cultivators. Ku Rong and the others could only suffer in silence. They could not complain. They could not gossip behind their backs. If Yi Tianyan found out, they would be doomed. I want to speed up the repair of the teleportation formation. I want to go to the Red Moon planet as soon as possible. Yi Tianyan changed the topic. He did not want to waste any more time. That's for sure. I've already told them to repair the teleportation formation with all their might. They can't neglect it. 6 Origin Celestial Lord said seriously. No, it's still too slow. Yi Tianyan said, shaking his head. It's not fast, but they are the fastest here. I hope you can wait a little longer, 6 Origin Celestial Lord said. I mean, let me help you repair it, Yi Tianyan said calmly. Oh, Your Excellency, do you have any good star tattoo masters to recommend? 6 Origin Celestial Lord was immediately interested. It was certainly worth being happy to have a better star tattoo master. I mean, I'll help you repair it. Do I need to emphasize it a few more times? Yi Tianyan looked at him and said again. Your Excellency, you'll repair it? 6 Origin Celestial Lord was surprised. Generally speaking, experts like them rarely had other professions. This was especially true for those with higher cultivations. They would focus more on cultivation instead of cultivating one more profession. Among the 10 Star Lords here, 8 specialized in cultivation, while the other 2 cultivated other professions. The result was obvious. The other 2 Star Lords who cultivated other professions were generally not as strong as the other Star Lords. However, in terms of ability, they must be Star Lords who cultivated other professions. But this world was too impetuous. They should focus on improving their cultivation first of all. Of Star Lords, the stronger they were, the more likely they would not cultivate other professions. It would be a good choice to cultivate other professions after his cultivation was strong enough. After all, no matter how high the level of an Astral Rune Master was, it still couldn't compare to the palm strike of a powerful cultivator. Thus, most of them would increase their cultivation first, and it wouldn't be too late to cultivate other professions later on. Yi Tianyan was a Star Venerable, and in the eyes of the 6 Origin Star Lords, it was impossible for him to cultivate other professions at the same time. Generally, Yi Tianyan was a Star Venerable. 6 Origin Celestial Lord, Yi Tianyan was a Star Venerable. In his opinion, it was impossible for him to cultivate other professions. Generally, he could only reach this level by focusing on his cultivation. Yes, I'll repair it. Is there a problem? Yi Tianyan looked at him and said, It's not a big problem to let you repair it. How high is your Celestial Master level? 6 Origin Celestial Lord asked. Level 3 Celestial Master. Yi Tianyan said. Level 3 Celestial Master. 6 Origin Celestial Lord nodded. It's suitable for repairing this teleportation formation. You can repair it. 6 Origin Celestial Lord felt it was meaningless. He had thought that Yi Tianyan would be a high-level Celestial Master, but he was only a level 3. Ren Jian and Ku Rong, who were next to him, were full of resentment. When they heard Yi Tianyan say that he was a level 3 celestial master, they even mocked him. They had thought that Yi Tianyan was a high-level celestial master, but in the end, he was just a level 3 celestial master. This was like bragging about how strong he was in front of everyone for a long time, but in the end, it was as if he was a star apostle. What was the point of this? How could he improve his speed? The speed he should have was not the same. Could it be that if he repaired it, he would be able to fly? However, they could only think about it in their hearts and did not dare to say it out loud. They only looked at Yi Tianyan with disdain. They had seen many people who boasted, but this was the first time they had seen someone with such a high level of cultivation. Yi Tianyan ignored the gazes around him and ordered in his heart, "Upgrade to level 3 Celestial Master." Ding. Star energy deducted successfully. You have been promoted to level 3 Celestial Master. Although he had spent a lot of star energy to easily upgrade to level 3 Celestial Master, compared to the star energy he had earned now, it was only a small part. After the upgrade was successful, he went to the teleportation formation area. With a quick glance, he had a panoramic view of the state of repair. So that's how it is. Yi Tianyan began to repair the formation. After circling around, he chose a spot and prepared to repair it. Below the stage, many cultivators and people from the Heavenly Star Pavilion looked at Yi Tianyan. Almost all of them wanted to see Yi Tianyan make a fool of himself. They were not afraid of failure, but they wanted to see how fast he was. Previously, they had said that the Heavenly Star Pavilion's repair was too slow. Now that it was his turn to repair it, how fast could he be? No matter how fast he was only a level 3 Celestial Master. Lend me an Star Rune Pen. Yi Tianyan stretched out his hand and gestured. The Celestial Master beside him was stunned at first, but then he hurriedly handed over an Star Rune Pen. Yi Tianyan could repair star runes with his bare hands, but with the help of an Star Rune Pen, the speed of the repair would be better. All of you can leave. Leave this place to me. Yi Tianyan gestured for the rest of the Celestial Masters to leave. You are going to repair the teleportation formation alone? They were all dumbfounded. They had thought that Yi Tianyan would simply participate in the repair. They did not expect that he would repair the whole teleportation formation alone. Yes. Is there a problem? Yi Tianyan looked at them calmly. No problem. It was not that there was no problem, but they were afraid of Yi Tianyan's cultivation. That was why they had no choice but to say something against their will. Then they all left. Only Yi Tianyan remained in the teleportation formation, and he looked very conspicuous. The other cultivators were speechless. Even if he was a star venerable, he did not have to show off like this, did he? If he showed off too much, he would be humiliating himself. A star venerable is really a star venerable. He is so domineering. Are you just going to watch him repair it slowly? It could have been repaired in a few years, but now it looks like it will take decades. Chapter 2085. They were all waiting to see Yi Tianyan make a fool of himself. Some of them even took out their record roulette to record this scene. It was quite funny to see a star venerable repairing the teleportation formation bit by bit. Especially if he tried to be brave and reserve the entire teleportation formation. It would be a joke. Although some of them didn't like the Starry Sky Pavilion, Yi Tianyan's behavior was even more ridiculous. Therefore, even those who didn't like the Starry Sky Pavilion now turned their attention to Yi Tianyan. The 6th Origin Star Lord shook his head. If Yi Tianyan's cultivation hadn't been higher than his, he would have driven him away. If this wasn't fooling around, then what was? It was really a waste of everyone's time. But Yi Xian's cultivation was so high that no one dared to stop him. If they made him unhappy, he could slap them directly. They wouldn't be able to resist it. Now he could only stand aside and watch. Even if Yi Tianyan repaired it for dozens of years, he would have to accept it. Even the practitioners nearby had to endure it, let alone the 6th Origin Star Lord. No matter how urgent the situation on the Red Moon planet was, they could only watch from here. They all thought Yi Tianyan would repair it slowly and make a fool of himself. All of a sudden, Yi Tianyan made a move. He spun the star pattern pen in his hand and pointed it hard. Then he activated the crazy mode, and broke at a super speed of 25 times. Swish, swish, swish. His amazing repair speed was displayed immediately. This speed was not as simple as that of 25 level 3-star tattoo masters. It was a superimposed speed. He repaired a place almost in a short while. The onlookers were dumbfounded by this speed. They had expected to see Yi Tianyan make a fool of himself, but now they were dumbfounded. The record roulette in their hands wasn't recording Yi Tianyan's embarrassing situation, but Yi Tianyan's amazing star pattern ability. His amazing speed allowed him to sweep through everything in his way. In just a short while, a small part of the area had been completely repaired by him. He was on a completely different level from the Starry Sky Pavilion's astral inscriptionists. This speed of 25 times was really much faster than before. It was also not something that could be brought about by 25-star inscriptionists. Originally, there were only a few areas where the teleportation array was being repaired. Even if they had more rank 3-star inscriptionists, they would only need 3 or 4 of them. The rest could only watch from the sidelines. There were too many people, so it would take a long time to complete the repairs. But now, the effect that Yi Tianyan brought was completely different. He madly repaired it, and in the blink of an eye, a portion of it had been repaired. Based on the current situation, it wouldn't take long for it to be completely repaired. Heavens, what kind of speed is this? Is he really a rank 3-star inscription master? I've seen many grade 3-star inscriptionists, but I've never seen a single one who possesses such frightening speed. How could he be at the level of a level 3 Astral Rune Master? I'm afraid he's at the level of a level 4 or 5 Astral Rune Master, right? Otherwise, how could he be so fast? Compared to the Heavenly Cloud Star Venerate, the Star Inscription Master from the Heavenly Star Pavilion is like a snail. You're right. You call the Starry Sky Pavilion fast? You even told me that the repair is fast. This is what you call fast. After they came to their senses, they were completely shocked. How could they not be stunned by such an amazing speed? Renjian didn't know what to say. Like the others, he was stunned at first, and then his face turned red. This was a slap in the face, and it was a very hard slap. He didn't need the help of others, let alone make a fool of himself. This was a one-sided crushing of them. This kind of crushing made them feel ashamed. They thought that Yi Tianyan was bragging, and that even a rank 3-star inscription master could still crush them. But the problem was this really the level of a rank 3-star inscription master? Even if it was not the level of a rank 3-star inscription master, but the level of a rank 4 or 5-star inscription master, it was still an incredible existence for them. This is really unexpected. 6 Origin Star Lord shook his head and smiled bitterly. Like the others, he thought that Yi Tianyan was showing off and embarrassing himself. Now, it seemed that he was still too inexperienced. Incredible, really incredible. Not only does he have an extremely strong cultivation, but he also has such amazing ability as a star inscription master. How could he not be stunned by the combination of the two? The cultivators around began to talk about it. Most of them said that the Starry Sky Pavilion was too slow, and they even mocked the Starry Sky Pavilion for being blind. They even mocked Yi Tianyan for not being qualified to go in and repair it. Now, it seemed that who was not qualified to repair it? This made them feel very embarrassed, and they wanted to dig a hole and bury themselves. Putting aside the identity of Heavenly Cloud Star Venerate for now, with this skill of his, do you think you can stop him from going in and repairing it? 6 Origin Star Lord looked at them coldly. Even if it was not Yi Tianyan who came to repair it, with this level of skill, they had to let him do it no matter what. For 6 Origin Star Lord, the faster the repair, the better. If it were not for Yi Tianyan's toughness, they would have really lost a lot of repair talents. Aren't we afraid that he is here to cause trouble? Ku Rong looked embarrassed. Who would have thought that Yi Tianyan would be so fierce? I don't know if he is here to cause trouble. Don't you know how to set up a test? We almost lost such a powerful helper. 6 Origin Star Lord scolded him fiercely. Most of all, Yi Tianyan did not continue to pursue the matter. If he did not soften up, he would have suffered a great loss. Ku Rong and the others lowered their heads and did not dare to look at Yi Tianyan. They could only tacitly agree. Who asked them to make a mistake? Forget it. Think about it carefully. If you continue to cause trouble, even I can't protect you. Six Origin Star-Lord waved his hand and walked to the side, waiting for Yi Tianyan to repair the teleportation formation. He did not dare to walk around. He could only stay at the side and observe the situation. Yi Tianyan did not care about the gazes around him. He continued to focus on repairing the teleportation formation. After frantically repairing it, it was soon half repaired. This made many cultivators very happy. It seemed that they would be able to go back soon, and would not have to wait for so long. It's almost repaired. We can finally return to Red Moon Planet. They were all very excited when they saw the progress of Yi Tianyan's repair. With the passage of time, in less than half a month, the entire teleportation array was completely repaired. It had to be said that Yi Tianyan's astonishing speed had pushed forward time by several years. It was really amazing. This kind of speed really made them want to continue watching. This feeling was simply a kind of enjoyment. Chapter 2086. Yi Tianyan still felt that this speed was too slow. If the people around him knew about this, they would be scared to death. Especially the Starry Sky Pavilion. Wouldn't they be ashamed? This speed might not be invincible, but it was at least comparable to a level 4 or 5 Astral Rune Master. If he was really a level 3 Astral Rune Master, what would happen when Yi Tianyan broke through to a level 4 Astral Rune Master in the future? For Yi Tianyan, the reason why it was slow was because he had experienced faster speed before. Previously, when Crazy Mode could increase his speed by 128 times, it was terrifying. Unfortunately, the effect of Crazy Mode was greatly reduced when he came to this world. This made him feel very dissatisfied, but he had no choice but to accept his fate. The mechanism of this Crazy Mode has changed. It seems that it will be quite difficult to improve it. He thought that he could keep improving it, but now he realized that he was too naive. Things that were too heaven-defying would always be limited. However, he was still quite satisfied. After all, it was good enough that he could improve it. After the repair, the entire teleportation array buzzed, indicating that the teleportation array was completely repaired and they could head to Scarlet Moon Planet. Too fast, really too fast. In just half a month, the teleportation array was repaired. Now we can return to Scarlet Moon Planet. Many cultivators were overjoyed and looked at Yi Tianyan gratefully. If it weren't for Yi Tianyan, they would have to stay here for a while longer. Although it was not a long time, no one wanted to stay here any longer. After the repair, Yi Tianyan came down from the teleportation array. He looked at Six Origin Star-Lord and said, "Six Origin Star-Lord, I have repaired the teleportation array. In the future, you have to send more people to guard it to prevent it from being damaged again." Of course. Six Origin Star-Lord was extremely grateful. Then Lord, are you going to Scarlet Moon Planet now? Why don't you stay here for a while so that I can be a good host? No need. I'm here to go to Scarlet Moon Planet. We can talk about it in the future when I have time. Yi Tianyan looked at the teleportation array and said, "Do I need to pay for using this teleportation array?" "My lord, what are you talking about? There's no need to accept it. From now on, you can use the teleportation array free of charge. You can also bring others with you. There are no restrictions." Six Origin Celestial Lord said with a smile, rubbing his palms. Under normal circumstances, he would definitely not say such a thing. However, in front of Yi Tianyan, in addition to the fact that he had helped to repair the teleportation formation, he naturally allowed this special privilege. If it was given to someone else, they would definitely die of heartache. Every teleportation consumed a large amount of energy. It was not that they were too greedy, but the teleportation consumed a large amount of energy, and the price was not low. "All right, thank you, Six Origin Star-Lord." Yi Tianyan nodded. He did not ask for anything in return. All he wanted was to use the teleportation array. "Don't mention it. You deserve it. Oh right, there's also this treasure. It's a reward for you." The Six Origin Star-Lord waved his hand, and a pearl appeared in his hand. He said respectfully, "My lord, this is the Water Jade Pearl. When worn, it can block water-attributed attacks and greatly increase one's cultivation speed. Although it is not a galaxy-grade treasure, it is considered top-notch among celestial sector-grade treasures. The Six Origins Star-Lord would not take out a galaxy-grade treasure. He had pitifully few galaxy-grade treasures. Even if he wanted to curry favor with Tianyan, he could not afford to spend so much. Overall, this water jade pearl was quite good. Tianyan accepted it without hesitation. He could give it to others in the future, but there was no need for him to use it. It was too low a level. Thank you. After Tianyan took it, he turned around and walked towards the teleportation array. Soon, as the first teleportation array to be repaired, he disappeared before everyone's eyes. As for the Starry Sky Pavilion Astral Rune Masters, they did not care at all. They did not even look at them. In the first place, Tianyan did not regard them as opponents. They were not even qualified to be his opponents. Naturally, he could not be bothered to look at them. The Starry Sky Pavilion Astral Rune Masters breathed a sigh of relief. It was best that they did not receive any attention. However, their gazes were focused on Ku Rong and the others. If the Starry Sky Pavilion was destroyed, it would definitely be their fault. As for what happened next, Tianyan did not care. With a flash of light, he arrived at Blue Fanyu of the Scarlet Moon Star. Blue Fanyu was the same as the Six Origins domain. It was a teleportation array. They did not build it themselves. They did not have the ability to do so. The teleportation array could be repaired by a Grade 3 Astral Rune Master. However, a Grade 3 Astral Rune Master could not draw it. In order to draw the teleportation array, one needed to be at least a Grade 5 Astral Rune Master. Repairing was repairing, and drawing was drawing. The two were different concepts. Hey, the teleportation array was repaired so quickly. When the guards saw Tianyan come out, they were surprised. They definitely knew that the teleportation array had been destroyed. After all, it could not be used. Something must have happened there. Yes, it has been repaired. Tianyan did not say much and disappeared into the crowd. There were also many cultivators waiting for the teleportation array to be repaired, so that they could go to the desolate Dragon Star. Needless to say, this teleportation array was very useful for communication. However, there was only one. Once there was a problem, it was equivalent to being cut off. However, it had nothing to do with Tianyan. He just needed to use the teleportation Divine Stone to mark it, and there would be no problem. With the teleportation Divine Stone, the teleportation array had nothing to do with him. After leaving this place, he immediately went to the Greater Ring region. The Greater Ring region was quite far from here. However, it was not a problem. He just needed to fly for a while. Tianyan's figure flashed, and he quickly went to the Greater Ring region. With his amazing speed, he passed through several regions and soon arrived at the Greater Ring region. When he arrived at the Greater Ring region, he immediately felt that something was wrong. As soon as he got close, the guard stopped him. Who are you? What do you want? The guards blocked in front of Tianyan. They all looked like angry Vajras. Although their cultivation base was not high, they were all at the Star Master level. There were quite a number of guards, and they had basically sealed off all the main paths, leaving no gaps at all. I want to see the Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable. Tianyan was straightforward. Although it did not seem right, he still asked. The Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerable? The guards' eyes became cold. They immediately pointed their weapons at Tianyan and said coldly, "Catch him." Chapter 2087. Tianyan had just mentioned that he wanted to meet Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate. Yet he was immediately surrounded. Something must have happened. What's going on? What did I do wrong? Tianyan looked at the guards calmly. He would have attacked them long ago if he had known what was going on. Pointing a weapon at a Star Venerable casually was no different from courting death. Take him back. The guards ignored him. They just wanted to capture him instead of explaining the situation. Then all the guards surrounded him. Some of the Great Star Venerate guards attacked him right away. Their attacks were extremely cunning and ruthless. This was not the way to treat a guest. They wanted to kill him. Humph. Tianyan snorted coldly and sent the guards around him flying. They all fell to the ground, heavily injured, unable to move. Star late stage star venerate? The guards were stunned, but they did not even have the strength to struggle. No matter what the situation was, even if Celestial Ring's great star venerate had ordered the guards to do this, he would not be polite. Was there such a way to treat a guest? In that case, he could not be blamed for this. After sending them flying, he extended his hand and pulled one of the guards over. Then he grabbed the guard's head and searched his soul. He had not searched his soul immediately because he was being polite. But it was different now. Since the other party's way of treating a guest was so bad, he would not be polite either. After searching his soul, Etianyan tossed the guard aside. Then he took a step forward. An energy wave spread out and turned the guards on the ground into a bloody mist. I see. I didn't expect this to happen. Etianyan narrowed his eyes. Sure enough, no place was safe. The Great Ring Field was occupied by Crazy Moon's Great Star Venerate. Fortunately, Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate had already escaped. He was not captured or killed. However, the Great Ring Field was occupied by Crazy Moon's Great Star Venerate. According to the guard's memories, Crazy Moon's Great Star Venerate likes Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate. He wanted to take possession of Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate, so he attacked. Coincidentally, the Celestial Ring Great Star Venerate was at a crucial moment of cultivation. After interrupting Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate's cultivation, he must have suffered a backlash at the critical moment. Under such circumstances, his power would decline, and he could only choose to flee when facing the Wild Moon Great Star Venerable. He believed that the Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate was furious and wanted to take revenge. However, it was difficult for him for the time being. No matter what, he had to wait for his condition to recover before he could come back for revenge. After Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate went into hiding, Wild Moon's Great Star Venerate would surely search for him. Anyone related to Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate would be captured and interrogated to find out where Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate was hiding. Now there was a new problem. Originally, he had wanted to ask Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate for help. Now Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate couldn't even protect himself. Troublesome matters keep coming one after another. However, this happened a long time ago. I wonder how Starlink's Great Star Venerate is doing. Etianyan frowned. This had happened a long time ago, at least several decades ago. Wild Moon Great Star Venerate could be considered to have completely occupied this place. He was frantically searching for any clues. Now he also wanted to find the whereabouts of Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate. Even if she couldn't help him for the time being, he had to find her and tell her about Tianyu Yuan. After all, he couldn't deal with the Green Demon Great Star Venerate in Tianyu Yuan's body for the time being. As for dealing with the Wild Moon Great Star Venerate, it was impossible. The difference in their cultivations was too great. He might only be able to deal with the Wild Moon Great Star Venerate if he increased his cultivation. Femme fatale. It seems like even Great Star Venerates have to be careful. Etianyan shook his head. The Wild Moon Great Star Venerate would probably pursue her for a long time, but it wouldn't work. In the end, he would have to use force. Of course, it was also possible that he wanted something from Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate. Since Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate wouldn't give it to him, he would have to use force. This was just his guess. He would have to find the Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate to know the truth. How can I find the Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate? Etianyan stroked his chin. The Wild Moon Great Star Venerate had searched for a long time, but he still hadn't found the Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate. It would also be very difficult to find him. Then he clapped his hands. His eyes lit up. It seems like I can only use the old way. His body started to emit a faint halo. It wasn't any energy. He was releasing the luck aura. In other words, he was using the luck aura to search. In the end, everything depended on luck. It would be very difficult for him to find the Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate. So he could only use this unorthodox method to see whether he could find it or not. After using the luck aura, Etianyan flew in a random direction. He didn't fly to the outside of the Great Ring Zone. Instead, he flew inside the Great Ring Zone. It wasn't that he thought the more dangerous a place was, the safer it was. It was just that if he couldn't find it there, It would be difficult to find it outside. The area outside was so shocking. It was almost impossible to find it. So he just went inside casually. If he couldn't find it, he would have to use other methods. He flew all the way and soon arrived at a city near the edge. After landing, he walked around casually. He had only taken a few steps when someone bumped into him. That person quickly apologized and left. After the other party left, he discovered that a star ring had fallen into his hands. There was definitely nothing good in it. After all, the cultivator who dropped the star ring didn't have a high cultivation. He didn't expect to find anything good in it. Soon, all kinds of strange things happened on his way. For example, he found a star ring on the ground or some treasures. However, they were all ordinary things. They wouldn't be very valuable. This was the effect of great luck. He rarely used it like this. After all, the things he could find were too low level. It would be most effective if he used it in the dangerous areas outside. Oh. Tianyan glanced to the side. A beggar was meditating there. He was different from other beggars. He was just meditating there. His whole body was wrapped in black cloth. His face couldn't be seen. Other beggars were lying on the ground, but this beggar was different. He was meditating there. It was obvious that he was different. Tianyan scanned the beggar with his appraisal eye. Detailed data immediately appeared. Celestial Link's Great Star Venerate. Found it. Chapter 2088. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate disguised herself as a beggar. How could they disguise themselves as beggars under normal circumstances, given their high statuses? However, the fact was right in front of them. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate had disguised herself as a beggar to hide her identity. No one had paid any attention to her while she was recuperating. Who would have thought that the lofty beggars would disguise themselves like this? That was why she could disguise herself easily and evade the many-guard search. They had thought that Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate would not disguise herself like this. However, she did. Even though she looked fake, no one came to investigate her. There were so many beggars, but she did not even place a bowl in front of them. How could she not be fake? Which beggar would not place a bowl in front of them? She did not do that. Even though she disguised herself as a beggar, she did not lose her dignity. She kept her dignity. In fact, it was easy to see through her disguise. However, the guards here were stupid. Even Crazy Moon's Grand Star Venerate did not expect that the woman he loved would disguise herself as a beggar. Then Tianyan went to Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate sat up straight, as if he was ready to fight. Don't be nervous. Tian Yuan sent me. This is the token he gave me. Tianyan waved his hand, and the branch Tian Yuan had given him appeared in his hand. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate was taken aback. He quickly stood up and said, "Come with me." Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate took Tianyan to a corner. Then he pushed open a door and pulled him in. Then he quickly locked the door. In fact, locking the door or not was meaningless. There was no formation here, so it could not disguise himself at all. The more he tried to disguise himself, the more likely he would be discovered. So it was better not to disguise himself. Did Tian Yuan send you? Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate quickly lifted her black robe and showed a pale face. She had a deep scar on her face, which was too horrible to look at. Even though there was a scar on her face, it could not hide her beautiful face. She was the most beautiful woman Tianyan had ever seen. Even if there were scars, they couldn't hide it. Logically speaking, with her cultivation, she should be able to repair it. However, she was unable to do so. These scars were not simple. They possessed a special energy that continuously corroded her face. It was not that easy to recover from. Not only were there injuries, but even his cultivation had not recovered. He had fallen to the middle stage of Star Venerable realm. It was really miserable. The process of falling from a Grand Star Venerable to a middle stage Star Venerable was quite miserable. When she heard Tian Yuan's name, her eyes lit up as if there was hope. She did not first ask how Tianyan had found her, but instead asked about Tian Yuan's condition. This showed how important Tian Yuan was to her. Sky Turing Yuan sent me here. His situation isn't looking good, but yours is even worse. Tianyan shook his head. How could Starlink's great star venerate help in such a state? Not to mention helping, he was not even comparable to him. How is my brother? Tell me quickly. Starlink's great star venerable grabbed Tianyan's arm, not caring about his own condition. Brother? Tian Yuan is your brother? Tianyan asked confusedly. Yes, he is my brother. Didn't he tell you? Starlink's great star venerable said. He didn't tell me. I thought you were his confidant. Tianyan had thought so. After all, he had given Tian Yuan a silver ring. Confidant? How is that possible? Starlink's great star venerable shook his head and said, he doesn't admit that I'm his younger sister. It has something to do with our family. He doesn't want to admit that he's a member of our family. Alas, every family had its own difficulties. He finally understood this point. Moreover, they were both great star venerates. That family was really domineering. It had 2 great star venerates in one family. This was probably just the tip of the iceberg. That family was so big that it was unimaginable. Tian Yuan's rejection must mean that he had some conflicts with that family. In other words, the family's principles did not match Tian Yuan's. These are their private affairs, and Tianyan doesn't care about the rest of the matter. Okay, that's his general situation. Tianyan took out the record roulette and showed them the general situation. Starlink's great star venerable fell silent after seeing the roulette. His face turned even paler. How could it be? Starlink's great star venerable shook his head and said, my brother has a strong sense of justice. What does the Green Demon clan have to do with him? Tianyan shook his head when he heard Starlink's great star venerable. As expected, their principles were different. People with different principles could not make plans together. Tian Yuan chose to leave, but he did not act recklessly. That's what he thinks. I'm afraid you can't help him now, Tianyan said, shaking his head. I can't help him, but the family can. But I don't think the family will save him. Starlink's great star venerable said with a sigh. If they won't save him, won't anyone save you? Tianyan looked her up and down. Tian Yuan didn't want to join the family, but Starlink's great star venerable might not. Starlink's great star venerable shook his head and smiled bitterly. I also chose to leave the family. The family abandoned us. You are great star venerables. How could they abandon you? Tianyan was speechless. It would have been fine if star apostles or star masters had been abandoned. But this was a great star venerable. How could she be abandoned? Great star venerables are strong, but for our family, those who don't obey orders will be abandoned. Besides, there are many people like us in our family, Starlink's great star venerable said with a bitter smile. Such a powerful family. Tianyan's eyes narrowed. He had not expected such a powerful family to have several great star venerables. It was heaven-defying. My family isn't weak, but it seems I can't help you now. Starlink's great star venerable sighed, guilt filling his eyes. By the way, what happened to you? Why did Kuang Yue's great star venerable target you? You were beaten up so badly. Didn't you think about asking for help from the family? Tianyan asked, confused. Kuang Yue's great star venerable was sent by the family. Starlink's great star venerable explained the situation in one sentence. It will take a long time for me to recover completely. It would be good if Kuang Yue's great star venerable didn't catch me. Chapter 2089. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerable nodded. He admitted that his family had sent people to capture him. Everything was clear now. He had not expected it to involve a family. Otherwise, no one would provoke a Grand Star Venerate for no reason. So, we can't save Senior Tian Yuan? Tianyan frowned and sighed. Or, we can only wait for him to deal with it himself. But it will take some time. It would take a long time. It would take at least a few million years. He did not know how strong he would be by then. He would rather wait for Tian Yuan to become a Grand Star Venerable than wait for him to deal with it himself. His current star energy was almost enough for him to break through to the late stage of Star Venerable. However, if he wanted to become a Grand Star Venerable, He had to reach the 4th layer of the star Dharma aspect. Otherwise, he would not be able to break through. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerable had reached the 4th layer of the star Dharma aspect. Otherwise, he would not be able to break through. The higher the level of the star Dharma aspect, the easier it was. No matter how difficult it was better than waiting for a few million years. Tianyan had a long lifespan, but he did not want to wait that long. It was too long. That's it for now. I can't recover my cultivation, and my family is targeting me. I can't even protect myself, let alone save my brother. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerable sighed. He looked sad. He was obviously very worried about Tianyu Yuan. Why don't I take you to Senior Tianyu Yuan's place? It's better than staying here, right? Tianyan thought for a moment, and decided to take her away from here. Maybe it would be safer this way. Staying with Tianyu Yuan was better than hiding here, and worrying about being caught by Crazy Moon's Grand Star Venerable. No. My brother must have made up his mind to ask me to help him. If I go there now and can't help him, he will be even more disappointed. He might even drive me away. I finally got this chance, but I wasted it. Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerable shook his head. Tianyan could understand what she meant. She was worried that he wouldn't be able to help if he went over. This was equivalent to wasting a way to ease the tension between them. But staying here is not a good idea. If you are found, can you still escape? Tianyan looked at her and said, "You're right. Let's go then," Starlink's Grand Star Venerate said, nodding. "Then we should run to the Wild Dragon Star. It might be safer there," suggested Tianyan. "Yes. Although it is not as good as the Red Moon planet. Let's go to the Desolate Dragon planet first," Celestial Ring's Grand Star Venerate said with a nod. Then Tianyan followed her, and quietly left Greater Ring region. Originally, Tianyan wanted to use the teleportation Godstone to escape with her, but after thinking about it, he decided against it. He did not know the situation of the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerable. Only God knew what she was thinking. After all, even a Grand Star Venerable would find it difficult to cross so many regions in an instant. This was why he rarely used the teleportation Godstone in front of others. Even if he used it, he would only use it when the distance was not too far. If the distance was too far, it would be too strange to use it. If he used it in front of experts, he would undoubtedly expose something. Although he was not afraid of the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate, it was always good to be vigilant. Their cultivations were not low. Even though the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate's cultivation had decreased, they were still at the intermediate stage of the Star Venerate realm. Their speed was quite shocking. Soon, they reached the periphery of the Greater Ring region. When they were about to sneak over quietly, the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate took a step forward, but he suddenly bounced back as if he had run into an invisible wall. On the other hand, nothing happened to Tianyan. He passed through the wall easily. It's the Grand Star Venerate's rule power. He unexpectedly used this chance to block my escape. The Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate's face sank. All Grand Star Venerates could use the verbal compliance law once. But once they used it, they could not use it again unless they got rid of it. Now the Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate used it to trap the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate. He might not know whether the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate was here or not, but if he really was here, he would show up as soon as he left this place. This was a brutal ability. It restricted the sky and prevented the Green Demon clan members from sensing the star dermic body. These were all the might of the verbal compliance law. Now the Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate used such a heaven-defying power to trap the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate. He was really generous. If the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate had really escaped, it would have been a waste. Of course, if he put it away, he could use it again. Tianyan's eyes flashed. Without hesitation, he charged over and dragged the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate to escape using the teleportation Divine Stone. However, he found he could not use the teleportation Divine Stone. Sure enough, I can't use it when I'm restricted. Tianyan narrowed his eyes. He could use it. After all, he was not restricted. However, the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate was different. She was restricted and could not escape using the teleportation Divine Stone. At this moment, A figure appeared in the air. It was Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate without looking. "Hurry up and leave!" The Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate shouted anxiously, signaling to Yi Tianyan to leave. She could not escape, but Yi Tianyan could. Yi Tianyan was taken aback. He had not expected the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate to be so kind as to let him escape first. "No one can leave." The Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate waved his hand. A halo quickly enveloped the area, sealing it tightly. There was no gap. There was no way to escape. Yi Tianyan knew it would be difficult for him to escape. Even if he burst out with his strongest power, he would not be able to resist the power of a Grand Star Venerate. However, he did not panic. He could not resist, but it did not mean he could not escape. Hence he remained calm. Instead, he raised his head and looked at the Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate in the air. The Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate was a handsome youth. He looked like a super genius. Since he had been sent to capture the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate, he was surely not weak. His cultivation was not weak. He was in the early stage of the Grand Star Venerate. His cultivation was about the same as the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate's. However, the Crazy Moon Grand Star Venerate was clearly stronger. Or perhaps he had used some power to sneak attack the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate, which was why the Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate lost. "Come to my side. I will protect you." The Celestial Ring Grand Star Venerate dragged Yi Tianyan to his side and shielded him. Chapter 2090. Yi Tianyan and Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate were besieged. Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate was nervous, but Yi Tianyan was not nervous. He had many ways to escape. The most classic way was to fake his death. It looked like he had been killed, but he could come back to life after a while. By the time Wild Moon Great Star Venerate reacted, he would have already escaped. As for Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate, he could not save her for the time being. After all, Celestial Ring's Great Star Venerate was restricted and could not escape from the rules. Unless her cultivation recovered, she could not break through the rules. Those with a low cultivation would be restricted by the rules. Those with a similar cultivation or higher cultivation would be restricted by the verbal compliance law. Thus, for cultivators with a low cultivation, this was a heaven-defying ability that could restrict everything. However, for those with a similar cultivation, there were very few restrictions. However, it looked like he did not need to do so for the time being. "Heavenly Star Ring, you are really hiding here. I thought you had escaped long ago. It seems that my verbal compliance law was not wasted." Wild Moon Great Star Venerate landed and shouted her real name. "It's been decades. You are really good at hiding. Come back with me. If you continue like this, don't blame me for being impolite." "Tian Kuangyue, can't you just let me go? For old time's sake, let me go. After all, I took care of you back then," Heavenly Star Ring said as she stared at him. "No. The elders sent me to capture you, which means the time limit is up. You have caused enough trouble outside. It's time to go back. Don't stay outside. It won't help your future. You have been a Great Star Venerate for so many years, but you have not made any progress. This is the difference between you and the outside world." Wild Moon Great Star Venerate shook his head, sounding disappointed. Maybe he had admired her before, but he was disappointed now. "I don't want to stay in the family. I will go crazy if I stay there. Even if I don't make any breakthroughs outside, I don't want to go back." Heavenly Star Ring shook her head. "Tian Kuangyue, don't say anything. Just pretend you never found me." Heavenly Star Ring, you are overthinking. I will never let you go. I will correct your mistake. Everything is your fault, not the family's fault. The family's objective is correct, but your way of thinking is wrong. Tian Kuangyue said in a stern voice. Tian Xinghuan shook his head. It seemed like there was no point in trying to persuade him. Tian Kuangyue's way of thinking was already deeply ingrained, and it wasn't something she could control. "Looks like I can't change your mind." Tian Xinghuan looked at him and said, "Then I won't ask you to do anything now. I'm willing to go back with you, but please let him go. He has nothing to do with us." "What is his relationship with you?" Why are you protecting him like this? Tian Kuangyue sized up Yi Tianyan with a sharp gaze. Before, he didn't even bother to look at Yi Tianyan, but now that his attention had shifted to him, he began to size him up. Nothing much, just a friend. This matter had nothing to do with him, so he could at least be let go, right? As long as you let him go, I'll go back with you, Tian Xinghuan said. What a joke. Do you think you can escape if I don't let him go? Tian Kuangyue sneered. If you really put your life on the line, even if you can still catch me, you'll have to pay a certain price. Why don't you try? Tian Xinghuan's tone was cold, and her beautiful eyes were filled with coldness. Tian Kuangyue was startled. He really couldn't deny this point. Tian Xinghuan didn't put her life on the line because they were from the same clan. If she was forced into a corner, she might really put her life on the line. Even if he could catch her, he would have to pay a certain price. His mission here was to bring Tian Xinghuan back, not to kill her, and certainly not to kill unrelated people. Unless someone intercepted him and brought Tian Xinghuan back, he was too lazy to do anything. Alright, then let him go. Speaking of which, I still have to thank him. It seems like he wants to leave with you. If he didn't leave with you, I really wouldn't have found you so quickly. Tian Kuangyue smiled. Looking at Yi Tianyan's situation, it seemed like he wanted to take Tian Xinghuan away with him. If it wasn't for Yi Tianyan taking her away, they might not have been able to find Tian Xinghuan in such a short time. Alright, stop talking nonsense. Open the barrier and let him go. Tian Xinghuan's tone was cold. She had nothing to say to him. Alright, I'll open the barrier now. Even if it's opened, you can't escape. Tian Kuangyue was very confident that he could catch Tian Xinghuan. As long as he came to her side, she wouldn't be able to escape. Then he waved his hand and the barrier was removed, leaving the surroundings empty. Tian Xinghuan didn't run away, not because she kept her promise, but because she really couldn't escape. If she could escape, she would definitely choose to escape, rather than foolishly staying here and getting caught. Since she had chosen to leave that clan, she definitely didn't want to go back. Go back, I can't help much. If he asks, just say that you can't find me. Tian Xinghuan's eyes were dim. She could only choose this answer. After all, since she couldn't help, she might as well pretend that she hadn't found her. Maybe she would still miss her. You mean you can fight on your own? Can you rush out of this barrier that's blocking you? Yi Tianyan quickly transmitted his voice to her. He didn't leave. I can rush out of this barrier, but what's the point? Won't I be caught? Tian Xinghuan was puzzled. Their cultivations were too far apart. Under Tian Kuangyue's pursuit, there was no way she could escape. Perhaps in a moment of anger, she would kill Yi Tianyan. That's enough. Later, you can break this barrier and kill your way out. Yi Tianyan said in a deep voice. What are you guys talking about? If you want to leave, leave quickly. Otherwise, when I regret it, you won't be able to escape. When Tian Kuangyue saw that they didn't move, he thought they must be talking about something. Tian Xinghuan took a deep look at Yi Tianyan. She didn't reply to Yi Tianyan. The next second, she opened her palm, and a dazzling halo appeared, covering her body instantly. In the blink of an eye, her body turned golden, and a powerful energy gushed out. Almost instantly, she regained the power of a Grand Star Venerable. Maybe this was the energy stored in the treasure, and she could use it when she took it out. After the energy was released, Tian Xinghuan grabbed Yi Tianyan and dashed out of the barrier. Dong! The barrier was smashed into pieces, but it didn't pose much of a hindrance. The verbal compliance law was powerful, but it couldn't stop Tian Xinghuan, who was using all her power. Chapter 2091. The barrier was easily broken, and Heavenly Star Ring's power rapidly decreased, dropping by half in an instant. It was no wonder that she could only break through the barrier and couldn't escape. With such an explosive power, she could at most exchange a few blows with Tian Kuangyue. Of course, she might have other hidden moves, but she certainly wouldn't be able to hold on for too long. It was no wonder that she chose to compromise. Now that she broke through the barrier, her power immediately decreased. Sure enough, you still want to struggle and escape from my hands? That's impossible. Tian Kuangyue sneered and quickly stretched out his hand, wanting to continue trapping them. His heart was burning with rage. He was kind enough to remove the barrier so that Yi Tianyan could leave, but he didn't expect that Yi Tianyan would choose to resist. How could he not be angry? At this time, Yi Tianyan dragged Heavenly Star Ring while holding the teleportation godstone in his hand. Teleport for me. Swish. With a flash, they immediately disappeared from where they were. Tian Kuangyue's attack failed to catch Yi Tianyan and Tian Kuangyue, but Yi Tianyan's speed was too fast, and he quickly disappeared with Tian Xing Ring. What's going on? They disappeared? Tian Kuangyue was stunned. He immediately went crazy and quickly looked around, trying to find their figures. But no matter how much he searched or how many millions of miles his spiritual sense extended, it was all meaningless. He couldn't find Yi Tianyan and Heavenly Star Ring at all. They had disappeared without a trace, as if they had disappeared from this world. How could they disappear? They disappeared right under my nose? Tian Kuangyue was going crazy. In his heart, he felt that he had absolute control, and that it was impossible for the two of them to escape from his grasp. But the fact was that Yi Tianyan and Heavenly Star Ring had disappeared. He didn't know where they had gone. The energy fluctuation just now didn't seem to be teleportation. Could it be the escape effect of some magic treasure? Tian Kuangyue kept analyzing the situation, trying to figure out what was going on. But no matter how he analyzed, felt the energy fluctuation, and tried to find out where Yi Tianyan and Heavenly Star Ring had escaped to, he couldn't find any clues. He couldn't sense anything, and it was driving him crazy. They had finally found the Heavenly Star Ring after much difficulty. Now it had slipped from their hands. This was truly maddening. Most importantly, he couldn't find any clues. This made him want to go crazy. He had never felt so powerless before. Under normal circumstances, no matter what method the other party used to escape, they would more or less be able to find some clues. If he followed these clues, he would be able to find the direction in which they escaped. This was undoubtedly the most convenient and fastest way to track them. But now, there was no effect at all. This was the first time in history that he had hit a wall like this. There's no trace at all. How did he do it? Damn it, where do we start looking this time? Tian Kuangyue furiously attacked in all directions, and the surrounding area was immediately bombarded by his attacks, causing the earth to quake and the mountains to sway. Under his crazy attacks, the ground was bombarded with countless huge holes. When the surrounding cultivators sensed the situation, they were scared out of their wits. They thought that the world had been destroyed. At the same time, Yi Tianyan and Tian Xing appeared in another region, which was the 6th origin domain. It was extremely easy to return to the 6 origin regions. After returning to the desolate dragon star, Tian Kuangyue wouldn't be able to find them. Unless they purposely exposed themselves, they wouldn't be found. Where are we? Tian Xing looked around, and was completely stunned. To be able to escape from under Tian Kuangyue's nose, this kind of ability wasn't small at all. At first, she still had the mentality of taking a gamble. She also didn't want to go back to her family, so she could only take a gamble. She didn't know what Yi Tianyan would do, but if he failed at worst, she would be captured without putting up a fight. As for Yi Tianyan's safety, she could still protect him. Desolate Dragon Star, Yi Tianyan said simply. Originally, he didn't want to use the teleportation godstone, as he was afraid of scaring Tian Xing. But now he had to use it because he had no other choice. Of course, he couldn't use it at that time. After all, Tian Xing was trapped by Tian Kuangyue's verbal compliance law, so the teleportation godstone couldn't bring her out. Desolate Dragon Star, we're here? Tian Xing was stunned, revealing a shocked expression. She really didn't expect to arrive here so quickly. This was something she had never imagined. In just a blink of an eye, they had arrived at the desolate Dragon Star. What kind of treasure was that? Yes, we're here. As long as we don't purposely seek death, I don't think Tian Kuangyue would know that we're already here. Yi Tianyan smiled. He could see Tian Kuangyue's crazed expression. He must have lost his mind. It was a pity that he couldn't be there to see it. He loved to see these warriors' crazed expressions the most. It was such a joy. What kind of treasure is that? To be able to bring you to the desolate dragon star in just a blink of an eye, you must have paid a great price, right? Tianxing Huan asked. Yes. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't want to use it. Look, it's broken. Tianyan took out the broken teleportation godstone. Coincidentally, he had used it to its limit, so it had broken into countless pieces. He squeezed it a little, and it turned into powder. Tianxing Huan looked at the powder and said guiltily, "This must be your escape treasure. You used it on me. If you had just left, you wouldn't have needed it." Seeing Tianxing Huan's guilty expression, Tianyan couldn't help but laugh inside. Although it wasn't good to lie to people, it was better to keep secrets. "Don't worry. As long as I can get you out, it's fine. That way you'll be safe here." Tianyan smiled and said, "Although you can't help Tianyuan right now, you should be able to visit him, right?" "No, I can't help him right now." Tianxing Huan shook her head. "You can't think like that. If Tianyuan is willing to ask you for help, he doesn't have anything against you. Maybe he has something on his mind that he wants to talk to you about." Tianyan encouraged her. She had already saved him. If she didn't want to go, that would be too much. Tianxing Huan was tempted. She hadn't been able to find Tianyuan. Now that she had found him, she really wanted to see him. After struggling for a while, Tianxing Huan nodded and said, "Okay, I'll go see my brother. Even if you kick me out, I'm willing." Chapter 2092. The fact that Tianxing Huan was willing to go made Tianyan very happy. Although it didn't have much to do with him, he still admired Tianyuan very much. The green demon race was harming the world outside, but he was willing to come in and suppress them without hesitation. Just this thought alone was enough to make him feel admiration. Just this alone made Tianyan willing to help Tianyuan. If it wasn't for Tianyuan's help, this area would have already become the green demon race's territory. The experts of Scarlet Moon Planet didn't care about their lives. No matter how the planet was devoured or occupied, it had nothing to do with them. Tianyuan was somewhat related to this place. In theory, he could completely ignore him. But he still did it, which made him admire him. When Tianxing Huan decided to meet with Tianyuan, Tianyan brought her to Five Element Mountain. After entering, Tianxing Huan looked around and murmured, "It really is Big Brother's work. It's so familiar." How could her brother, who had lived with her for so many years, not be familiar? "Lord, you're back?" When Clan Master Ji saw Tianyan bring people over, he went to greet them. When he saw Tianxing Huan, he was startled. He felt an extremely terrifying aura from Tianxing Huan. Tianxing Huan didn't care about him at all. To her, besides Tianyuan, no one else was important. Tianyan is slightly interested in it. It's all related to Tianyuan, so it's like love a house and love its crow. Of course, Tianyan also saved her. That was a great favor. "Yes, I'm going down now. I'll have to trouble you to meet me," Tianyan said. "No need. I can control the array here. It won't be a problem to enter or leave." Tianxing Huan interrupted. Clan Master Ji was startled. He didn't understand. "She's Senior Tianyuan's sister." Tianyan explained. "So she's Lord's sister." Clan Master Ji suddenly understood. No wonder Tianxing Huan said she could control it. After learning about Tianxing Huan's identity, his attitude became even more respectful. After exchanging a few casual words, Heavenly Star Ring didn't plan on saying anything else to Patriarch Ji. Tianyan brought Heavenly Star Ring into the seal. After entering, there were no changes. It was the same as before. Not much time had passed, and Heaven Traveling Yuan could control himself. Naturally, nothing would happen. "Sister." Tianyuan suddenly appeared before Tianyan. When he saw the Heavenly Star Ring, he was stunned. He had not expected the Heavenly Star Ring to turn out like this. "How did you end up like this? Who did this to you?" Heaven Turing Yuan's anger immediately gushed out, and the entire Green Devil race world shook. "Brother, I'm fine, I'm fine." Tianxing Huan hurriedly stopped the enraged Tianyuan. "You can't get angry. That beast is still sealed in your body. If you get too angry, you'll be easily controlled by it." After the Heavenly Star Ring found out about Tian Yuan's situation, it reminded Tian Yuan that he needed to control himself. Then who hurt you like this? Tian Yuan's anger gradually subsided, but it was still there. His sister had been hurt, and it was not so easy to appease his anger. When Tianyun saw this from the side, he sighed. They had such a good relationship, so why did they have to hide and not see each other? It was probably because of their families that they could not see each other. Tian Xinghuan's eyes darted around, not daring to look Tian Yuan in the eye. Then Brother Yi, explain the situation. Tian Yuan looked at Tianyun. I think it's better for you two to explain. As an outsider, I won't interfere in this matter. After speaking, Tianyun flew to the side. He did not want to participate in this topic. After all, it was their own business, and it was not appropriate for an outsider to intervene. After they left, Heavenly Star Ring finally revealed the matter. When Tian Yuan heard it, he flew into a rage and told Heavenly Star Ring about it. Their conversation was not soundproofed, so even if they spoke casually on the side, Tianyun could hear everything clearly. In general, it was nothing more than saying that the family was too decadent. In short, he kept criticizing the family's behavior, which made him furious. At the same time, he wanted to seek justice for Tian Xinghuan. Tian Xinghuan did not dare to let Tian Yuan seek justice for them, especially when Tian Yuan was not in good condition. How could he help? After a long conversation, Tian Yuan called out to Tianyun, Brother Yi, please come over. As soon as Tianyun flew over, he saw Tian Yuan's awkward expression. Sorry, I made a fool of myself. It's just a family matter. Skytor Yuan sighed and said, I almost got you involved in this. I'm sorry. Without your help, my little sister would not have been able to make it here. It's fine. It's just that the vast Een Star Venerate soul in your body will not be resolved so quickly, Tianyun said, shaking his head. It's not a big deal. I can only suppress it a little. Tian Xinghuan will recover faster here. He will be able to resolve it for me after some time. Tian Yuan was still in a good mood. He did not feel distressed because Tian Xinghuan could not resolve it for him. That's true. The life energy here is very dense. It is very helpful for healing injuries. Tianyun did not mind it when he saw that they were fine. Although the life energy here was dense, it would still take a long time for a great star venerate's body to recover. This is the reward from us, brother and sister. I hope you don't mind. Tian Yuan took out a sword. It was a galaxy-grade sword. It was crystal clear and transparent. If one did not pay attention, one would not be able to see it clearly. Good sword. Tianyun's eyes lit up. This weapon looked pretty good. This weapon has accompanied me in battles for many years. I'll give it to you as a reward. After all, you damaged a treasure to save Tian Xinghuan. This is all I can give you. I can't give you any other treasures. Tian Yuan smiled apologetically. He had been trapped here all this time, so he could not take out any treasures. However, this was fine. Tian Yuan had given Tianyun 2 galaxy-grade treasures. This was a pretty good reward. We can put the reward aside for now. The most important thing now is to deal with the soul. Is there no other way? Who knew how many tens of thousands of years it would take for the Heavenly Star Ring to recover? They could wait, but Tianyun could not. It would take too long. It's not like there is no other way. The two of them exchanged a look and saw helplessness in each other's eyes. Chapter 2093. What is that? Tianyun's eyes lit up. As long as there is a way, he wants to try it. He couldn't become a Grand Star Venerable in a short time, so he had to find other ways to help. The solution is to find another Grand Star Venerate. However, we don't know many Grand Star Venerates yet. Even if we do, you know that we can't find them. Tian Yuan smiled awkwardly. Everyone he knew was a member of that clan. How could he rope them in? If he brought them, wouldn't he be courting death? Thank you for your kindness. With me here, Grand Star Venerable Een Hao won't be able to turn the tables. It'll just take some time. Tian Yuan said gratefully. She wasn't a Grand Star Venerable, but she was a Grand Star Venerable. She knew many tricks. Even if they worked together, wouldn't they be able to deal with Grand Star Venerable Yin Hao? No, we have to take care of this. We have to take care of this guy no matter what. We can't let him live in this world. At the same time, Senior Tian Yuan will be able to leave this place in advance. Yi Tianyan said with a righteous tone that touched them. In fact, he just wanted to finish the mission quickly. He didn't know how long it would take if he kept delaying. At the same time, he wanted to kill Grand Star Venerable Yin Hao as soon as possible. Maybe he could make a fortune. He was a Grand Star Venerable. If he killed him at his current level, the star energy he would get would be enough for him to reach the peak of the late stage of Star Venerable easily. He would accumulate more star energy so he could break through to the Grand Star Venerable level. Brother Yi, don't call me senior. It's my honor to call you brother. Tian Yuan was so touched that he put his hand on Yi Tianyan's shoulder. Yi Tianyan has done so many things for him, and he even saved his sister. Yi Tianyan's kindness is too much for him to repay. It's what I should do. I admire you for what you've done for the desolate dragon planet. If it weren't for you, this place would have been occupied long ago. It's my honor to help you. Yi Tianyan wasn't lying. He was really grateful to Tian Yuan. If Tian Yuan was an evil person to begin with, he definitely wouldn't care. I'm a selfish person. It's mainly because this place has something to do with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Skytor Yuan shook his head and said with a faint smile, You think too highly of me. After all, people have their own selfish motives. It's true that people are selfish, but there are very few people who can do this. There are many strong warriors on this desolate dragon star. Who dares to stand out? Yi Tianyan shook his head. During this period of time, there were many who had colluded with the Green Demon race, let alone standing out. All right, brother, just bear with it. You usually have a strong sense of justice. Even if this place had nothing to do with you, you would still come to help. Don't think that I don't know. Tian Xinghuan pouted and exposed Wandering Heaven Yuan's true colors. Ahem, 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 that happens once in a while. Heaven Traveling Yuan laughed. Looks like we can only look for other Grand Star Venerables. Yi Tianyan changed the topic. That was the most important thing at the moment. Right now, only Grand Star Venerables can deal with Grand Star Venerables Yin Hao. It will be difficult for those below Grand Star Venerables to get rid of him. Tian Yuan thought for a while and then said, Those below Grand Star Venerables can easily cause an impact and scatter their souls. If we want to get rid of him, we must first have a strong soul. The stronger the cultivation, the stronger the soul. However, ordinary Grand Star Venerables aren't willing to do this. They might be plotted against. So, we have to pay a price to look for Grand Star Venerables. The most important thing is whether they are willing to do it or not. Tian Yuan stated his concerns. There was a way to get rid of him, but whether the Grand Star Venerables he brought were willing to do it or not was another matter. If he wanted to help get rid of Grand Star Venerables Yin Hao, he would have to use his own soul to get rid of him. That way, his physical body would be left outside. It would be extremely dangerous if he tried to do anything to it. Tian Yuan had asked his younger sister to come because she was trustworthy. There would be no problem with that. Besides, the payment was basically negligible. So, when he saw that the Heavenly Star Ring was injured, he could only give up. It was not practical to look for other Grand Star Venerables. There were all kinds of concerns and all kinds of price increases. It was difficult. It was not that they did not want to ask for help, but it was too difficult. They could only give up and wait for the Heavenly Star Ring to recover. This was undoubtedly the most appropriate and safest method. I see. It seems that even if I find a Grand Star Venerate, they will either ask for an exorbitant price or refuse to come because they are afraid of danger. Yi Tianyan said. Yes. It is difficult to ask for help without a Grand Star Venerate, I know. It would be fine if I did other things, but I have to be extremely cautious when doing this. It will benefit both the Grand Star Venerables and myself. Tian Yuan sighed and said. So Brother Yi, thank you for your kindness. It's not that I don't want your help, but it is a bit difficult. Then, tell me the general idea. Let's hear the solution. Yi Tianyan thought about it, and also felt it was not practical to ask a Grand Star Venerate for help. Maybe he could think of a solution. This is very simple. When the time comes, I will use my body as a space. If you want to help, your soul will leave your body and enter my body. Then, we will work together to kill Grand Star Venerate Yin Hao. In the end, you will enter my body and kill Grand Star Venerate Yin Hao, Tian Yuan explained patiently. Enter your body and kill Grand Star Venerate Yin Hao. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed. He should be in an average state right now, right? He is average, but he can't be too weak. No one under the Grand Star Venerate level can deal with him. Tian Yuan said, shaking his head. Yi Tianyun thought for a while. It was indeed difficult. Although it was the soul, it was the essence. Its power was also shocking. Is there really no way? Yi Tianyun suddenly clapped his hands after thinking for a while. I got it. What did you get? Tian Yuan and Tian Xinhuan looked at him curiously. Ahem, nothing for now. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed. It was simple. He had the ability to deal with souls in the lower realms. It was something that could crush all souls. However, because of his cultivation level, the ability had lost its effect. Chapter 2094. After thinking about it, Yi Tianyun prepared to draw the lottery. You guys talk first. I'm going to cultivate for a bit. After Yi Tianyun finished speaking, he turned around and flew to the side to meditate. It really looked like he was going to cultivate. The siblings looked at each other. They did not know why Yi Tianyun suddenly wanted to cultivate. They were just discussing how to do it, but he went to cultivate the next moment. This confused them, but they did not ask. They just chatted on the side. They had not seen each other for a long time. They still had a lot to talk about. Therefore, they found a place to chat. The atmosphere immediately became cheerful. This scene should have happened long ago, but Tian Yuan had been hiding. He did not want to cause trouble for Tian Xinhuan, who knew that Tian Xinhuan would betray the family. What else could he say? After Yi Tianyun came to the side, he quickly activated the lucky aura. With the blessing of the lucky aura, he opened the good and evil exchange system. Please let me get a skill that deals with souls. Yi Tianyun prayed in his heart. He did not need to be as heaven-defying as before. He only needed to deal with souls. Even if he could weaken them, it would be fine. Soon, after opening the good and evil exchange system, it began to flash, hovering over the major options. With his prayers, it finally stopped on the bloodline. Bloodline? Yi Tianyun frowned. He was doomed this time. He basically had no fate with souls. If it was a divine skill or martial arts, he might have a chance. But now it was a bloodline. What was the point? Forget it. I'll use whatever I have. Yi Tianyun sighed. Then he opened the bloodline effect. As soon as he opened it, he immediately jumped up. What? What's going on? Tian Xinhuan and the others looked over. From afar, they saw Yi Tianyun jump up as if he had encountered something. Brother, what is he doing? Why is he cultivating like this? I'm not sure. Some people cultivate in a special way. Brother Yi might be one of them. The two of them chatted casually. They did not go over to ask about the situation. Since Yi Tianyun had said he was cultivating there, they would not disturb him. The reason why Yi Tianyun was so frightened was simple. The bloodline was very strong, and it suited his needs. Godly soul bloodline, the strongest bloodline of the godly soul race, can restrain the soul's power and control it. It can also deprive it of its consciousness and turn it into a puppet for its own use. Currently at level 1, can restrain the cultivation of star venerables. Godly soul bloodline. Yi Tianyun, godly soul bloodline. Yi Tianyun said. As it continued to level up, its might would definitely become more and more astonishing. At that time, his powerful bloodline power would be able to maintain an absolute restraining effect. I thought it was over, but it seems that there is still hope. Even if the cultivation is relatively low, with the effect of restraint, I can definitely suppress it. Yi Tianyun couldn't help but laugh. Level up, level up. You, dingy successfully, the leveled, got. Successfully. Ding. Successfully. Godly soul sliced noodles leveled. Leveling up the godly soul bloodline to level 3 in a row would result in absolute suppression of the cultivation of star venerables and below. Great. This time it will be very effective against souls. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. He turned around and flew toward Tian Yuan and the others. Brother Yi, what's wrong? Tian Yuan was confused when he saw Yi Tianyun flying toward him excitedly. Make some preparations. We'll start dealing with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. Yi Tianyun smiled confidently. Oh. We'll deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao? Tian Yuan and the others were dumbfounded. They did not know what he meant. Yes, we'll deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. Yi Tianyun confirmed again. Brother Yi, wait a moment. Are you saying that we are going to deal with Star Venerable Yin Hao together with you? Tian Yuan repeated. Yes, you and I will deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao together. We'll work together to suppress him. Yi Tianyun said. That's a bit difficult. You're just a Star Venerable. It's not that Star Venerables are bad. It's just that you need to be a Great Star Venerable to deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. That's the only way to be safe. Tian Yuan did not want to hurt Yi Tianyun's pride, so he spoke in a tactful manner. In other words, if his cultivation was too low, he would easily fail and become a burden. Star Venerables were strong outside, but it would be more difficult to deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. No need. I have a way to deal with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. It won't be easy, but it won't be too difficult. As long as you can suppress Great Star Venerable Yin Hao, I'll be able to deal with him. Yi Tianyun's eyes were full of confidence. He knew the effects of the godly soul bloodline. If he had faced an ordinary Great Star Venerable Yin Hao, his godly soul bloodline would have been useless. After all, he was facing a real Great Star Venerable. But it was different now. He was facing a soul, and a suppressed soul, so the success rate would be different. Although the godly soul bloodline could suppress souls, it could only do so when the gap between them was not big. This was especially true when it came to restraining soul attacks. It had an excellent restraining effect. Tian Yuan hesitated. He thought for a while before he said, Actually, it doesn't matter if it's just a try. But it'll be very dangerous for you. If you're not careful, your soul will be shattered. That's quite dangerous. Don't worry. I have a way. As long as Brother Tian helps me, we can kill him. Yi Tianyun was quite confident. If he had not gotten the godly soul bloodline, he would not have dared to do this. Brother, trust him. I don't know what he can do, but it shouldn't be a problem. Tian Xinhuan's eyes flickered as she looked at Yi Tianyun. She was looking forward to it. If it had not been for Yi Tianyun, she would not have been able to escape Tian Kuangyue's capture. So, she trusted Yi Tianyun this time. How long have you known him? Why do you trust him so much? Tian Yuan did not know whether to laugh or cry. He had not expected his sister to think so highly of Yi Tianyun. It's not like that. I can feel a strange power in young Master Yi. It feels like he can do anything. Tian Xinhuan smiled mischievously. She did not look like a Great Star Venerable at all. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. How can I let Senior call me young master? Yi Tianyun waved his hand quickly. He could not bear it. You're my brother. If I let you call me Senior, won't my brother suffer a great loss? Tian Xinhuan smiled. Chapter 2095. After making the decision, they started to make preparations quickly. It was not easy to deal with Great Star Venerate Yin Hao. They had to make preparations no matter what. Of course, Tian Yuan was the one who had to make preparations. Yi Tianyun had already made preparations and could set off at any time. Then they set up a great formation around them to protect them from all directions. Even though the heavenly star ring was next to them, they still had to set up a defensive formation to protect their bodies, just in case. The most important thing was that it could strengthen their strength and strengthen their own soul. Even though the strengthening effect was limited, it was still a strengthening effect. It's almost time. Are you ready? Tian Yuan sat in meditation inside the formation with a serious expression. In fact, he was also very nervous. If anything went wrong, not to mention Tianyan, even he would be severely injured. After all, this was a battle of souls. One side would definitely be injured. If they did not engage in a battle of souls, it would be possible to kill Great Star Venerate Yin Hao slowly. This was the safest way, but it would take a long time. The best way would be to have another Great Star Venerate working with them. The effect would be completely different. Now that he was going to try it with Tianyan, he had to make preparations. He was not only thinking about his own safety, but also Tianyun's. I'm ready. Relax. It's just Great Star Venerate Yin Hao. Tianyan smiled calmly, and told Tianyu Yuan to relax. You suppressed him once before. It won't be a problem this time. Tianyu Yuan and the others did not know whether to laugh or cry at Tianyun's words. Great Star Venerate Yin Hao was a Great Star Venerate. Even though he had suppressed him before, he was still restricted. It would not be easy to deal with him. Brother E, aren't you being too optimistic? Tianyu Yuan did not know whether to laugh or cry. He's a Great Star Venerate. Even if he only has his soul left, it will be difficult to deal with him if he fights back. Yes, he's a Great Star Venerate. But don't worry since I'm here. Tianyun patted Tianyu Yuan's shoulder to tell him not to be so nervous. Brother E, it's all up to you. In any case, Starlink has strongly recommended you. It seems we really will have to rely on you. Tianyu Yuan smiled. He had indeed relaxed quite a bit. However, it was impossible for him to completely relax. He just needed to calm down a bit. Young Master E, if you can really help my brother get rid of him, I will give you a reward. Tian Xinghuan's beautiful eyes flashed mysteriously. What reward? Tianyan asked curiously. That's a secret. I'll tell you in detail after you help my brother deal with it. Tian Xinghuan smiled sweetly. The scars on her face were a little shocking, but it did not stop her smile from being amiable. All right, prepare your reward and wait for me. Tianyan smiled, then looked at Tianyu Yuan and said, Come, we can begin now. All right, let's start now. Tianyu Yuan closed his eyes, and so did Tianyan. The two of them entered deep into their souls. Tianyan controlled his own soul. Through the support of the formation, his soul quickly entered Tianyu Yuan's body. The two of them quickly gathered inside. They looked no different from usual, except that their bodies flickered with a faint white light, showing the effects of their spiritual bodies. However, that was all. There were no other problems. It seems there are no problems. I have imprisoned Star Venerate Yin Hao's soul in the innermost part. Once we enter, we will start fighting. Are you ready? Tianyu Yuan's expression became serious again. How could he not be serious before a great enemy? He had been relaxed before, but he still had to be more cautious when facing his opponent. I've already said that I'm ready. Suppressing him won't be a problem. Tianyan smiled. All right, you need to have some confidence. Tianyu Yuan was still nervous. After all, he did not know what moves Tianyan would use. However, no matter what move it was never wrong to be cautious. Soon after, the two of them walked forward as if they were walking through a secret passageway. There really was a secret room in front of them, and it was covered with densely packed star patterns. Tianyu Yuan was quite strong. He was a level 5 star pattern master, so he could seal Star Venerate Yin Hao's soul in his body. Tianyu Yuan nodded at Tianyan. Then he put his hand on the door and started to unseal it. Once the seal was unsealed, the fight would start. Then Tianyu Yuan started to unseal it. The star patterns on the door were unsealed one by one. Soon, all the star patterns on the door were unsealed. Only the door was left. Soon the door was opened. As soon as it was opened, a gust of cold air came from inside, as if it wanted to freeze the people outside. Tianyu Yuan, you are really bold. You even brought a young Star Venerable with you. Do you really think he can deal with me? Star Venerate Yin Hao's laughter came from inside. It was full of mockery. We will know whether I can deal with him or not when we try. Tianyu Yuan's eyes were cold. His fighting spirit rose quickly. It's ridiculous. I couldn't kill this guy before. Let's see if he can come back to life after I destroy his soul. Star Venerate Yin Hao was also full of resentment against Tianyan. He had killed Tianyan, but he had not expected the latter to survive and come back to life. Now his soul had come in. His soul would be severely injured. Even if he did not die, he would be disabled. As soon as the door was opened, a figure flew out and showed up in front of them. It's been a long time since we met like this. Let's have a good fight. Let's see whether you will swallow me or I will swallow you. Star Venerate Yinhao smiled evilly. A star divine image appeared behind him. It was a giant green demonic god star divine image, which covered the whole space. The whole space started to shake along with this power. It seemed it would collapse at any moment. The seal started to strengthen, which made the space more stable. The great formation deployed by Tian Yuan was to make the space more stable, so that it could not be broken easily. Facing Star Venerate Yinhao, he felt more pressure. Star Venerate Yinhao was stronger than before. The main thing was that when souls touched souls, they could feel a deeper power. Brother Tian, it's up to you. Tianyan asked Tian Yuan to attack. It was impossible for him to deal with Star Venerate Yinhao. No matter how strong he was, his soul was only at the Star Venerate level. He could not deal with Star Venerate Yinhao. Before that, he could only ask Tian Yuan to help him control Star Venerate Yinhao. He would wait for an opportunity and attack at any moment. Chapter 2096. Tian Yuan turned a deaf ear to Great Star Venerable Yinhao's mockery. He quickly exerted his movement to envelop Great Star Venerable Yinhao. Cut the crap. If you want to fight, let's fight. Tian Yuan weaved hand seals. Waves of sealing power enveloped Great Star Venerable Yinhao. He did not want to inflict serious damage on him. He only wanted to seal the area. It was mainly because Tianyan had told him to seal Great Star Venerable Yinhao in a certain area. It would be better if he could catch him. Therefore, Tian Yuan's attack was not an absolute killing movement, but to restrict Great Star Venerable Yinhao's movement. If they had used killing movements, the two of them would have been about the same. They would not have had any advantage. If he had been able to take advantage, he would have come in and fought against Great Star Venerable Yinhao himself, instead of consuming his energy bit by bit. Tian Yuan, have you lost your sharpness over the years? This kind of fighting style is not your style. You should focus on this state if you want to fight. Great Star Venerable Yinhao mocked him again. He released his energy to the strongest level. The giant green demon smashed forward. Boom! A violent explosion shook the space, almost causing it to collapse. Tian Yuan's besieging attack was shattered easily. It was easy to attack, but difficult to seal the area. Tian Yuan did not give up. He started to make hand seals again. Circles of power moved toward Great Star Venerate Yinhao, trying to seal him off. One attacked and the other sealed. They kept colliding. It was hard to tell who would win. In general, Tian Yuan had consumed more energy. It was easier for him to attack. You talk too much. Seal him. Tian Yuan exerted all his strength. He finally released his energy to the highest level. The level 6 star Dharma idol behind him burst out. It was a double-headed white tiger. The giant double-headed white tiger opened its mouth and roared at Great Star Venerable Yinhao. The power of the white tiger descended and expanded the seal, trapping Great Star Venerable Yinhao instantly. The white tiger's power had been used for fighting, but it was used for sealing at the moment. It was quite useless. As he broke out with his full power, he suppressed Yinhao's attack and confined him within a certain range. Moreover, when he went all out, a white ring wrapped around Yinhao and controlled him for a short while. Do you think you can control me with this? Great Star Venerable Yinhao's face was filled with disdain. For him, this was a piece of cake, and he could not tie him up. However, at this moment, a figure appeared in front of him and stretched out his hand to grab Yinhao. Star Venerable. Brother don't touch him. Tian Yuan thought Tianyan was going to do something, but to his surprise, Tianyan jumped on him, intending to attack Great Star Venerable Yinhao head-on. Great Star Venerable Yinhao's soul was quite powerful, and anyone with a lower cultivation would be drained by it right away. It was an existence that was filled with devouring power. If one touched it, they would definitely be sucked dry. Idiot! Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's eyes were full of mockery. He thought Yi Tianyan was being funny. He had thought Yi Tianyan was going to do something, but it turned out to be a sneak attack on him. What was the point of that? He was worried about everything, but he was not worried about anyone touching his body. A slight touch could drain the opponent dry. Especially a touch on the soul. The effect was even more direct. Yi Tianyan's eyes were also full of mockery. The soul bloodline in his body was instantly activated, and the effect was maximized. The hand that extended toward Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was filled with a strange energy. When it came into contact with Great Star Venerable Yin Hao, it was not sucked dry as expected. Instead, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's body started to have its energy sealed. Almost in an instant, the energy in Yin Hao's body was released quickly like a deflated balloon. In the end, his body became dry. Moreover, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao also sensed that the power in his body was completely sealed. He could not even move. What's going on? Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was shocked. He felt that his power was completely sealed by Yi Tianyan's touch, and he couldn't do anything about it. Nothing. You're under my control. It's that simple. Yi Tianyan smiled as he dragged Great Star Venerable Yin Hao down, then threw him to the side and said, "See, I told you it was easy to control Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. I told you not to be so nervous. Why are you still nervous?" Even a Great Star Venerable's soul could be controlled by a powerful soul and bloodline. This was the strongest effect of the soul and bloodline. As long as one was touched, one would die. Especially when one was not on guard, he could control it easily. He did not feel any pressure at all. This is incredible. No wonder you said you could deal with Yin Hao. You alone are enough. Even though Tian Yuan had been prepared, he did not expect it to be so shocking. He was controlled in the blink of an eye. He had tried his best, but he could not compare to Yi Tianyan's touch. There was a huge gap between them. This won't do. I can't control him. Only when you control him can I do something to his soul. Yi Tianyan laughed, which made Tian Yuan feel a chill. If he touched him like that, would it be the same? Fortunately, Yi Tianyan was a friend, not an enemy. Otherwise, he would have been controlled if he touched him like that. Brother Yi, you are incredible. How could you have such an ability? I wonder which great force you are from. Such an ability cannot be possessed by ordinary forces. Tian Yuan knew Yi Tianyan was from the Desolate Dragon Planet, but how could the Desolate Dragon Planet have such an ability? He did not believe it. It was too weird. Ordinary great families did not have such an ability. At least, his family did not have such an ability. Well, the process of obtaining it was a bit complicated. I guess it was luck, Yi Tianyan answered casually. Luck? Tian Yuan had a general idea of what was going on. This was a chance. If one had a good chance, he would run into a top-notch treasure. This was not unheard of. Some people were lucky enough to get excellent treasures. Yi Tianyan did not lie to Tian Yuan. It was really a matter of luck. Otherwise, he would not have gotten such a top-notch bloodline. The process was also complicated, so there was no need to go into details. Chapter 2097. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was still in a daze after being caught. His powerful strength had been sealed in an instant. Anyone in his shoes would feel like they were about to go crazy. Especially when he saw the two of them chatting in front of him, he felt even crazier. He had been able to act domineeringly and do whatever he wanted before, but now he could not do whatever he wanted. He was completely controlled. A sense of helplessness welled up in his heart. This sense of helplessness was very strong. He had never felt so helpless before. He was completely controlled, and he could not even struggle. Even when he had been fighting against Tian Yuan, there had not been such a great disparity. He had been controlled as soon as they touched. He did not even have a chance to fight back. Didn't you say I was an idiot? Yi Tianyan looked down at Great Star Venerable Yin Hao and said with a faint smile. Now who is the real idiot? Aren't you strong? Come and hit me if you can, idiot. He could not help but scold him. However, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao could not even fight back. He could only swallow his anger and take the scolding. What kind of power is this? How can it seal my power? Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's face was sullen. Even though he had been caught, he wanted to know the truth. That's none of your business. Yi Tianyan did not bother to explain anything to him. He turned his head and said to Tian Yuan with a smile, "Brother Tian, can I take care of him?" "Of course. You caught him. You can do whatever you want with him." Tian Yuan was in a good mood. Finally, he was relieved. He was not afraid that Great Star Venerable Yin Hao would take over his body anymore. "Thank you very much." Yi Tianyan was delighted. He had been busy for a long time. Besides completing the mission, he could also get Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's star energy. Yi Tianyan did not show any courtesy. He grabbed Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's head and started to search his soul. The level of the Super Soul Search was not high, but he could still see some of his memories. After a while, he could only find a small part of his memories, which was not much. "Haha, kid, you still want to search my memories? Dream on." Great Star Venerable Yin Hao burst out laughing when he sensed that he was about to search Yi Tianyun's soul. He laughed at Yi Tianyun's overconfidence. "Even though I'm under your control, it won't be easy for you to search my soul." Yi Tianyun thought for a while and said with a faint smile, "Your memories are quite valuable. After all, they are the memories of a Grand Star Venerable." After he recalled the memory, he felt that there were still many memories in it. He felt that it was still acceptable. The memories in the depths were even more valuable. Level up Super Soul Search. Star energy successfully deducted. Super Soul Search has been upgraded to rank 3. Level 3 Super Soul Search could extract all the memories of Grand Star Venerates and below. Then he grabbed Great Star Venerable Yin Hao's head again, and started to search his soul like crazy. He did not care that Tian Yuan was right next to him. If he cared that Tian Yuan was right next to him, he would not be able to find anything. That would be a waste. "I told you it's useless." Great Star Venerable Yin Hao was about to say something, but he felt a power probing him again. It took away all his memories, leaving nothing behind. This immediately stunned him. It was as if a key had been used to unlock all of his memories. In the blink of an eye, all his memories were taken away. Great Star Venerable Yin Hao didn't even have time to scream after taking away all of his memories. He slapped him and smashed his soul into pieces. Killing him mercilessly was not an option. Bing. Successfully killed Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. The reward is 800 million star energy points and 500 kill points. Obtain the Green Demon God Star Dharma Idol and the Green Demon Bloodline. Purple Gold Key Super Rare. Purple Gold Key? Yi Tianyan was struck dumb when he heard the news. He did not know what it was. After a brief examination, he smiled. Purple Gold Key. A key that can open the Purple Gold Divine Pavilion. It will allow you to move freely inside. The Purple Gold Divine Pavilion has not appeared yet. It will appear in 80 years. There are countless treasures inside. Purple Gold Divine Pavilion. This is interesting. But it will take a long time to appear in 80 years. Yi Tianyan shook his head. He had thought he would be able to enter it immediately. He had not expected that he would be able to enter it after some time. However, this was a windfall. Especially when he saw the words super rare. He knew it was not something simple. Most importantly, he could get a lot of star energy points, which made him feel like he could fly. He had obtained 800 million star energy points, which made him feel good. So many star energy points were enough for him to reach the late stage of Star Venerable Realm. As for the Great Star Venerable Realm, he would have to increase the level of his Star Dharma Idol. Tian Yuan finally felt relieved after killing Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. This time he really felt relieved. It's finally over. I don't have to be harassed by this guy anymore. Tian Yuan smiled. Then they left. As soon as they came out, Tian Xinhuan approached them. She sized them up and said, "How did it go? You came out so quickly. Did you injure Great Star Venerable Yin Hao badly?" Tian Xinhuan found it strange that they had come out so quickly. Did something go wrong? I have to say, Tian Xinhuan, you really have a sharp eye. Brother Yi is really amazing. Tian Yuan could not help but sigh at his sister's unique eye. She had really seen through Yi Tianyun's ability. Amazing? How so? Tian Xinhuan was puzzled. Did Great Star Venerable Yin Hao suffer? Or did he injure him badly? In her opinion, maybe Yi Tianyan could injure his opponent badly, but it did not mean that he could kill Great Star Venerable Yin Hao. It was really unbelievable. She had not thought that way. He killed Star Venerable Yin Hao, and he killed him in one move. I was just there to help him. Tian Yuan said with a smile. What? Tian Xinhuan was stunned. She was completely shocked by Tian Yuan. Brother, say that again? My silly sister, Great Star Venerable Yin Hao is dead, and he was killed by Brother Yi in one move. It was quite easy. Your brother was really worried for nothing. I was nervous for so long. Brother Yi was right. There was no need to be nervous. Just relax. In the end, he really killed Great Star Venerable Yin Hao easily. We were fine. Tian Yuan shrugged. He felt a little helpless. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.